You tell him! You tell him I'm coming! Tell him I'm fucking coming!
Straight out the Brooklyn basement. It's the GodMode Podcast. GodMode Podcast. GodMode Podcast. GodMode Podcast. GodMode Podcast. Welcome back to the GodMode Podcast. Sponsored by the Mopai Corporation. The Mopai Corporation, where our business is sound itself. Welcome back. It's a beautiful thing. Another night in the lab, 193. This time we're going to do some yapping. You know what I'm saying? Got two beautiful people in the lab today. One live and one by the way of Discord. My brother from another mother, Jay Breeze, a.k.a. Jamie Zeno, host of the Daddy's Home Podcast. And DJ Novi is in the building today. What's going on, y'all? Welcome.
Yeah, man.
AKA Jamie Zeno, I guess nowadays.
Yes, sir.
Also known as.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome.
Navi, what's up?
Say that again. You cut off for a second.
What's up?
I said, what's up?
Oh man, listen, I'm here. I'm busy. Not too much though, but you know, you and I talked a little bit a few weeks ago. Certain things have changed in the recent past, but it's all good. We're here. We're still alive. We're kicking.
Change is good. Change is good.
Yes.
Look, it's a change that I'm here right now. For real, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've been here too, and it's
right.
It feels good to be here, especially with you on this shit, Navi. We have
yeah, it's been a while.
I had to refresh your memory on who the fuck I was. we did a little something back in the day.
That's how long it's been.
Live just because shit we had,
the prequel to all of our podcasts.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, Jay, it's funny. Somebody mentioned to us the other night. They were like, "Why don't you guys do a podcast together? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's funny.
Guys should do a podcast together." We were like, "We're just."
So once upon a time,
like, oh my god.
Once upon a time, the foundation started as together.
Listen, it could still happen. I mean,
we're still here.
There are ways.
We're here right now.
Dude, this is happening right now.
Oh, this is it. Okay.
And my shit is a newborn. It's still in its infant stages.
Yes, I can't wait to do mine.
Once Boris hits it, it's gonna be crawling. We're gonna be crawling.
It's gonna take off right there.
I really cannot wait. I love his setup, and I want to drink a lot of beer.
I have some ideas.
Ah, nice.
It's a little different.
Beers on it. It's
a little different.
Really neat.
Oh yeah, we did that the first one too.
That was the premise of it. You know what I mean? That was always my idea, my vision of it, and I took it on my own path. And my man has his own shit here, which is primarily music. And I do my own thing with music, such as you. And that time we got together, we linked up on all three of our,
all the vibes, all the ways.
I just so happen to do best at drinking lately. And when I drink, I get right into that music shit.
So real quick, let me set it off. Might not be the best thing to talk about, but I gotta bring up the elephant in the room. It's inauguration day, y'all.
There's no elephant in the room.
Oh yeah.
Inauguration day.
Blessings.
For real.
A new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life.
Oh my gosh. Been waiting for this for 4 long years.
That's a lot.
Oh my god.
Tell me why.
Why have I been waiting for this for 4 years? Because I haven't been able to say my president until today in 4 years. Like, I haven't been able to use the last name of whoever's in office. Yeah, and president. Like, I haven't been able to put those two together in a very long time because I feel like I don't know how y'all feel, but I feel like that was a whole shit show. It was like a whole comedic act over the last 4 years.
I agree with you. But
yeah, and everyone else in the world, I'm sure, feels the same way. But
I want you to vent and tell me what you feel. What got you to to feel that way? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Okay, so first of all, as a black LGBTQIA plus woman, like he he opened up the floor for all the hates and all the anger and all the people who are all just, very prejudiced and racist and all the is to just rise up from the ashes and show their true colors. And these are people that we work with. These are people that we've known since high school. These are people that we, might walk by on the street on a regular basis and not even think twice about it because we just figure everybody's on the same page, but they're not. So it kind of allowed a lot of like ugly things to show up. And I feel like the president shouldn't, I mean, maybe he doesn't even know he was encouraging it. Maybe he very much does know that he was encouraging it. I don't know. I try not to like get into that part of it, but he definitely didn't do anything to stop it or make it, go away. So
now let me ask you this:
yeah.
Do you think that unwittingly he exposed this kind of behavior? Maybe, like you said, without knowing it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's one of those. It's weird because no one. I mean, the media is one thing, and then actually knowing him as a person is another thing. So like, we're kind of doing a lot of things based on just like some of the things that we've seen him do, or how the media portrays him, or whatever the case is. I do not support him at all based on not just the media stuff, because he also has a Twitter, or had a Twitter, because now that he's banned from it. So
he's been in the public.
he definitely.
He's been in the public eye for a very long time.
Yeah, exactly. So like
everyone knows who he was.
Right. Like this is no secret. So like, I mean, just based on the stuff that he showed before being elected, like even just in like, even if you couldn't say like, oh, I know who Donald Trump is, and if you feel like you can't say that and you just watch the debates before the actual election, it's just like, you can't, come on, y'all can't be serious about this man. Like this is not who you really want running the country, do you? And apparently plenty of people did. So like you said, did it
you know what I think it was?
Show up a lot of people for like, did he do it without like knowing? Maybe, but like, listen, it
He
definitely made some nasty things happen.
I think he exposed an ugly. I want to say like the first one, an ugly hole in the infrastructure, but that's not. Like, help me out here. Like an ugly truth, maybe. Like it brought it out to where like it was okay to say certain things, I guess.
Right.
You not be
right.
PC.
Okay.
Right.
So, see now, all right. So not be PC. So I see where you're going with that. So tell me what you think about that.
What I think about that?
Yeah,
I think
PC
that
or not being PC.
There's many sides to Donald Trump supporters. I think that first and foremost, you're absolutely right. Because it's a two-party system that we have here, right, in America, unfortunately, and it's the left or the right, and I think that it starts with that. So yeah, the extreme right.
Keep talking. I'm gonna fix his mic.
What you trying to do here? You can't hear me?
I got you. No, we can hear you. We can hear you. Keep talking.
Yeah, pull it away.
I got you.
I want to make sure everybody hears me right.
We hearing you right. We need to see you right.
Oh, you want to see me? you want to see me?
Because every time I try to gesture,
I wasn't hiding behind the mic.
Every time I try to gesture people to like, yo, move the mic to the left, to the right, they're like, where? I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get up. I'm just gonna do it.
All right, but look, I'll put it this way. Of course, there's going to be radicals on either side that always had that side back. You know what I mean? And
there's extremists that exist on
every
level.
And that's not good.
No,
any extremism is not good.
Correct.
You know what I mean? You have to have a balance here.
Well, it's like taking the Bible literally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You can, but I mean, hey. But look, I think that with this Donald Trump shit is there's many sides to his supporters.
Right.
There's the side that went with it because he is that public figure, that celebrity apprentice, you know, that everyone knows and loves or hate it.
Right.
And just looked at it like, hey, I'm sick of this whole fucking PC world we live in with these politicians that are fake.
What is the PC world? I'm interested in getting a specific.
The political correct world.
What is that?
We gotta stand up here and give the best speech without stuttering through it. You know what I mean? Teleprompter all day. You can't speak off of what you feel.
I mean, I think PC culture is more or less just like not offending people in a certain way, regardless of like, it's just, I think it's just a matter of just not offending people. But like, even so, PC culture or not, it's a matter of knowing that this is a country of people that are of all different walks, different races, different colors, different sizes, different shapes. Amen. And the fact that he allows people to express their feelings in division and ranking systems, aka white supremacists, like people who feel like that they're higher than other people based on their race, is insane. Like he didn't do anything to turn that around. Nothing to say that this is wrong. Nothing. Right. And it's just like, yo, you are like
any political figure who has that steam behind them, that push behind them, they're gonna roll with it. They're not gonna denounce their followers.
Right. And he's insane. And the fact that like the man was talking like this in debates and at rallies and stuff like that way before months before the election could have easily been prevented. And people thought of him as like this, well, he's got a lot of money and he's going to help the economy and he's going to do this and he's going to do that. I haven't seen anything. I feel like it's from us going from $1,200. I mean, I think he was advocating for $2,000. So let me be careful on that. But at the last minute. True. It did come out in like December, right? Yes.
Listen, but politicians don't ever agree with anything, especially when it comes to economics from either side of
the one we go
the aisle.
The $2,000 we can blame on turkey neck.
Well, we can blame it on a lot of different things. We can blame it on a lot of different things.
Mitchell and McConnell.
The fact of the matter is, they wanted to.
Who's worth $34 million, by the way.
And which is the case with most controversial bills that are passed, right? Is that either side, from either side of the aisle, they try to sneak in little fucking things.
Their little earmark. What do they call it? Pork or something?
Right.
Like,
whatever you want to call it. Little fillers.
Yeah.
Little fillers that apply to their
constituency and their base.
Right.
And the things that they want.
Right. And that's how they pass these bills, and it's not for the fucking people. I'm about the people. And it's not about right or left. And it's the fact of the matter that why are we in a COVID relief bill for the fucking people who've been out of work in this country, and businesses are being shut down all over. People are out of work because you can't serve food in restaurants anymore. Just the regular American people.
And you guys want to sneak in things about like
they're fighting
healthcare reform.
They're fighting over that shit in a COVID relief bill.
Right.
It's not about the president at that point. It's about all of politics in a whole. You know what I mean?
I don't think that you're absolutely right, because I think
why are we putting in foreign aid in a COVID relief bill for the American people? Right.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I think
and why are we arguing over that? So you could say it was this side, it was that side. That they couldn't come to the terms to pass that shit.
Right.
Both sides are wrong. Because if you ain't putting the American people first,
you're already done. You're already done. You're not doing your job at all.
Because the right says that's too much money. The left says it's not enough money, and I want to bail out these other countries.
Right.
You know what I mean? So where the fucking American people in this shit?
Nowhere. I think they're called earmarks, if I'm not mistaken.
And that's not the executive. That's not the executive power. You know what I mean?
They're not putting us first. Congress. They're putting policy. The policy to them is a vehicle.
And also,
it's a vehicle.
They're putting up a scoreboard for the right and the left. You know what I mean?
Which it should be actually together, and it should be basically.
When it comes down to the American people,
check each other. But at the end of the day, you can't get stuck on it. You know
when it comes down to the American people, it should be 100% unanimous decisions for unity to relieve the American people through these hard times.
Yes.
That's it. It's simple and plain.
Absolutely.
It's not right or left anymore. It's about helping.
I mean, the fact that a lot of all these other countries were like able to give their people a stimulus check every month since the beginning of their pandemic, and we're like waiting
real quick for their people, right? But here we are debating on what we should give the fucking American people. We had $1,200 stimulus.
Yeah, for 1 month or for
$1,200.
Yeah, one payment, and
the next one was
rent
what?
Is due every month
for 6 months.
Look, it could have been easy as this. It could have been easy as this. If we're gonna figure that shit out, right? We start by this. Banks, we're gonna put this shit on hold from the top. All right, banks, you ain't getting no payments for any fucking mortgages or any loans, student loans or anything. We're putting everything on a freeze until this shit is figured out.
That would have given
so now
people a chance to breathe.
No, now the owners don't have to pay. The landlords don't have to pay anything to the banks, which means the renters don't have to pay anything. Tenants. Right? You put it in a freeze. It's not like it's just it wiped out. No, once we start the economy back up and we're back up and running, then we start over and then you continue to fucking the term that you charged before. As simple as that.
So, but I believe there was a freeze on if I don't know the exact total. I think if you had to like file something to have your rent frozen or something like that, because I do have like homeowners close to me who have tenants and they didn't have to pay rent for like 3 months.
Yeah, but
and they were already like behind another 30. So then the homeowners they had to pay their mortgage still.
Right.
They definitely still had to pay land taxes and everything.
They're not getting paid.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah.
That's not
right. No, that's what I'm saying.
You know
like
what I mean?
the renter had the option to freeze, but not the homeowner.
And then it's going to affect the renter if the owner don't pay, because
your
assets are going to be seized. You're going to be foreclosed, and then they're going to be on the streets either way. The bank is going to own this shit. So you start with the banks. We're in a fucking pandemic that we have never seen in our lifetime.
And we bailed them out before, so they
how many times?
And they owe.
How many
times? They owe, man.
You know what I mean? No, it's not even like it could just be a freeze, and we're good.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. And I'm not an educated person whatsoever. I have a fucking GED, but it's as simple as that. Come on, diploma, that's good enough for me. But it's basic, though. You know what I mean? It's basic. So like. I think that unity is first. You know what I mean?
Compassion.
Compassion is first, and understanding.
Yes, sir.
As a whole, not right or left when it comes down to this shit. The scoreboard of the left passed this shit as a majority, or the right passed it. They wanted it. It's such bullshit that we're even fighting over that.
I think.
Go ahead, Boris. So good.
Because I want to say no. Hold that thought. I'm gonna be quick. I think that I believe they're called earmarks. Earmarks are personal interests of the right or the left in a specific bill that they throw in.
Right.
They also call it pork, but I'm going to call it earmarks. I believe, first of all, in a time of a national emergency, earmarks should be absolutely disabled.
Suspended.
You cannot put earmark projects. You cannot add anything to a bill that does not affect the bill, or like is not related to the bill.
In the title of the bill.
Related to the bill. I think they should be suspended indefinitely. First, truthfully, I think it should be suspended indefinitely. But then again, that'll that's not how lobbying and all that good stuff works. But in a time of a national emergency, I believe all of that stuff should be pushed to the side, and the interests of the citizenry, the American people, should come first. But that's wishful thinking, I guess, in a way.
Should it be though?
It shouldn't.
Man.
It so shouldn't
be.
It so shouldn't, but it is.
No matter who's in office.
Navi, go ahead. You were gonna say something. I cut you off.
No. I was just gonna say, like, when you mentioned about like putting the people first and having compassion and things like that, and it reminded me of when COVID first started, and he handled it so poorly. I guess that's the best way to put it, as far as like his words of encouragement or his beliefs behind everything, or what next steps he thinks people should take or how to be safe. And I mean, like, he played it off like it was like nothing. Now, mind you, COVID is a very real thing. Okay. Like I know that some people are a little bit more lax about it. Not a problem. You do you. Be, you know, however you view safety as far as this is concerned, that is totally your call, right?
Right.
But when it first started and nobody knew what this thing was,
That's a very case.
he treated like it was like nothing. You have people that were in the hospital, ICU, yeah, units were overflowing, hospitals were packed, people were homesick, families are getting like kids. Like I was working in an after school program, and before they decided to close the school, we like the staff was like people wanted to wear gloves, people were like walking around with like Lysol cans, just like messing around, but they were like, no, this shit is like really spreading like fucking crazy. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, like kids were like getting sick at the school and stuff like that, and I'm like getting nervous. So
The
thank
kids,
God you
kids
know,
weren't
like
getting sick. Kids weren't getting sick.
they no, like so they, it was like the season of like flu and like crap like that. So like the kids that when I was working with, they were like being.
In the beginning, it was only kids were immune from this shit as far as the media was concerned and the CDC.
So that's the thing.
Adults.
Nobody. So it was like because of the symptoms were so similar. When kids were getting sick, everyone was like kind of like, "Ooh, Corona," like making jokes about like Corona, and like kids, you know, like having to stay home or whatever. So not to say that the kids had it, but it just happened to be around a time when there was like a bug or something going around. So
Yeah.
people were like home, be sick. So it was just kind of like a lot of anxiety going around. Is my point. So when the schools finally did close and we had all these kids moving to different places, everyone was like, "Are we going to keep our jobs? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know." And you have all these people who are like so concerned about what's happening and the fact that like you can't go anywhere, you have to stay home. Like when the pandemic first started, I was living on the Upper East Side. The Upper East Side is full of nannies and strollers and people jogging and
Yeah, I work on the
old
border.
people walking
I
around
work
and
on the
like
border of it.
so you know
Yeah.
right, so you understand the energy and the vibe, like the
Yeah.
constant traffic that happens
Yeah,
in that kind of
I work
space.
in East Midtown, so I see the
Yeah,
whole
like
shit go down.
when I was at the beginning of the pandemic, there was nothing. Imagine what that does to a person who like has lived in Manhattan for 10 years.
That shit
Like
was devastating.
to step outside your window, it's like and to see this like empty streets and the fact that like he kind of played it off as like it was like nothing is like, yo, have you like not fucking been outside? Like do you not get the feeling that's like happening? Like I understand now it might not be so crazy for some people, but at the beginning it's like, yo, have a little more caution. Like just tell people to be like safe, careful, like fucking talking about like injecting. What do you say?
Well, no, there's a timeline. There's a timeline. I think
Like
there's
it's
a
just
timeline
like
to it, and I don't think that was all happening at first. You're right. He didn't have precautions to it because I don't think anyone really knew what it was. No one knew what it was.
right,
You know,
yeah,
the symptoms
that's my
kept on
point.
evolving, and it kept on evolving amongst everyone. And at first, it was like, oh, don't wear masks because the first responders and
Yeah, they're
the
the only ones I
nurses,
need to.
they're the only
Yeah,
ones that need it. Like it's not that serious. That came from the CDC and Dr.
right.
Fauci himself, you know, and so it was like nobody knew how serious it was. Like like I said, I work in East Midtown Manhattan in a residential building, and I would go home to my family on a weekly basis, and I would strip naked in my basement and throw all my clothes in the fucking wash machine, go upstairs and take a shower and disinfect before I fucking go see my family because they're in Pennsylvania, and so
Hmm.
I'm in the epidemic. I'm in the epicenter of the whole entire coronavirus in the world at that point. New York City was hit the hardest at
Oh
that
yeah,
point.
yeah,
No one else felt that like New York City. It was a ghost town, and the numbers
yeah.
were skyrocketed, and there was people in the hospitals, and it was fucking. It was terrifying.
It was scary. It was weird. It
Terrifying
was weird as
because
hell.
no one knew.
I gotta tell you, like I knew it was serious when, because it was still kind of summery, and I was like, you know what, social distancing is best done on a motorcycle.
You always rode a motorcycle,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
well,
But people, you never took the mass transit.
But wait, you know when it hit me real hard, you know, because I've talked to on this podcast, I've talked to an EMT from the Bronx
I've seen it.
who's on the front lines of this whole thing.
Yeah, I saw that episode.
You know, but I figured, you know, let me go to the city real quick. Let me just see how. Let me see for myself. I would like to see it. And I gotta tell you, when I got to the city, from Brooklyn to Manhattan, within 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was a
No,
ghost.
nothing.
It was unbelievable. I'd never seen that shit
rolled
like that.
through, and it's like,
No one.
you know, I rolled through and I heard the echo, and my bike is not that loud.
It looked like I Am Legend.
Yeah, and my bike is
Yeah.
not that loud, but I'm hearing the echoes of my exhaust off of the buildings.
There was no one in the streets, bro.
I had to take a picture. It was like
surreal.
it was crazy.
No one was in the streets. But you know what's crazy? Manhattan really wasn't even hit that hard.
People got smart and stayed in.
Well, they did. They still, bro. I know people still to this day that barely come out. It's deliveries. You get everything delivered.
Oh, yeah.
You disinfect all your fucking products, and then you bring it up to your apartment.
People are scared, man.
The deliveries are still not allowed to go directly to the apartments in these buildings, bro. They drop them off in the lobby or the service entrance and shit. Still to this
What
day.
buildings are you talking about?
Any residential luxury buildings. I work for a union, and that's just how it is. And any luxury buildings out there in that way, And
I got you.
nannies cut off, housekeepers cut off. No one could come into the building. You were barely even going in and out of the building. You know what I mean? The supermarkets, there was lines for fucking hours to get in because it was socially distanced,
right?
And there was only a certain amount of people in major
yeah.
supermarkets in Manhattan, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? You couldn't even keep up with supply and demand and just eating, let alone toilet paper and paper towels.
Right.
You know what I mean? Fucking hand sanitizer was little to none, bro, at all. And it was crazy.
The Russians used vodka and water and spray.
However, the city really, Manhattan borough, like from like the good parts up until Harlem, were not really affected like inner, communities of Brooklyn and Queens. You know what I mean? Like where people congregate and they're closer, they don't have any options. You know what I mean? They were the ones mostly affected.
Right.
Where people thought it was really the city. And that was the misconception. Because automatically Manhattan was fucking ghost town, bro. Everybody stayed home. But nobody else took that shit serious in the hoods. In the hoods and shit. Nobody was like, yo, what the fuck?
No, they definitely didn't.
Coronavirus. Yo, shut the fuck up.
No, they definitely didn't.
They was chilling.
Well, let me steer this ship a little bit.
Yeah.
So now, what do we have feelings of optimism towards the new administration, or are we still in that skeptic phase? Because a lot of people just wanted to vote Son out. That doesn't necessarily mean that doesn't necessarily mean they replaced him with the best candidate. Are there feelings from you guys of optimism or still skepticism in regards to the new administration?
I'm gonna say I am hopeful. That's what I'm gonna leave that at, is hopeful.
I'm always hoping that it would be the best outcome. I hope the same shit with Donald Trump at first.
All right. We all did. Give him a chance. I even said it.
I didn't have.
We had no. I only said it when we had no choice. Like literally, when he won, I was just like, all right, well, we have to give him something.
But that's the American way.
That was...
You know what I mean? Because it's a lesser of two evils,
right?
That you have to vote for. If you don't like them, too bad, because that's all you get, and you have to hope for the fucking best.
How?
I have hope. I have hope. I am very hopeful. Like I'm not hoping for the best. I already feel like we're on a better track. Him being gone already.
Just his absence.
The fact that he did not stay for the inauguration.
Right.
Because he's a petty fool.
That's true.
You think he really should have though after everything?
I think he should have.
Yeah.
He should have kept it presidential. Like if you know.
Yo, my man Mike Pence was like, "Listen, I understand that I was with him for the last 4 years, but I am here to play the game." Like Mike Pence.
Was Pence there?
Exactly. Yeah.
He was. Okay.
He was, and that's right. He is a politician, but Trump. See the fact that, but do you not believe Trump is a politician now?
No.
Trump is not a politician whatsoever.
No, never
So he
was.
should not have been president.
Why is that?
That was a scam. That was a whole joke, and I'm so glad it's over. Like I said before,
Yeah.
like
You know, you know what? I brought up
that was
I
crazy.
brought up something to Boris earlier, right? I was like, yo, look. I was like, but what is a politician? Because a politician is only a person that came from us. You know what I mean? It's me or you who had a passion to stand up and serve the people. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So they only start and now, granted, a lot of them go through college. They get their constitutional educations and they might have a law background or a military background.
I think it's
Or
public
such,
speaking. To be honest.
No, that's a plus for sure. Because this is America. Yeah. This is America, and that was my biggest thing with Donald Trump. I'm like, he's gonna make us look like a fool. This guy can't talk.
Right.
He's like,
it's embarrassing.
Obama was a well-spoken, well-articulate man, and
Mm-hmm.
and
But he had those.
and he also has well, yeah, but no, but he was
Iconic.
He was motivational.
He did really hard.
He is iconic, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I didn't agree with a lot of
His
shit
policy.
that he did,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
also I didn't. I'm an independent, so it's not right or left. You know what I mean? I just call it how I see it. I'm a constitutionalist. That's it. I'm a true conservative, and I'm not a Republican.
Just a
conservative as far as conserving our freedoms as American people. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And I call it how I see it. And it's like, it comes down to this. Like, when you think of a politician, I think that the president, the chief, commander-in-chief, should have military experience.
You mentioned that, and I think you should mention it again.
That's what I just said. I just said this to you earlier.
Yeah.
And now,
it was
you could
heated
say, like,
before the cameras
yeah,
were
Donald
on.
Trump doesn't have political background, but he has been in the American, trading system. He's been a businessman. He's been a public figure, and that's more experience than most politicians have. To be honest, you know what I mean?
To a certain degree,
because
yes.
he has been worldwide in business. You know what I mean? And
but what did you say before about military to me? Because I think you should bring.
That's what I'm saying. I think that the standards of a president should be some kind of military background.
You should have some kind of military service to your background in order to qualify for president.
Israelis, saying, right? yeah, Israelis, like Switzerland. There's many countries around the world that you have to serve at least like 2 years, mandatory. Once you become of age,
Russia
your
too.
military.
That's why I'm here.
You know what I mean? And everyone has their job. Everyone has their job.
I wasn't trying to go in the
military.
Now,
this is the greatest country in the world because I never wanted to go in the military. That wasn't my route. But I also
the draft was ended when? Recently.
It could be brought up anytime.
But I'm saying like recently was ended.
Yeah.
I mean within the last 50 years or something.
We don't need it.
But what I'm saying,
we're in a better state of the world.
As well, though.
The world is in a better state in general. We're not going to war like that. You know what I mean?
But do you think that maybe it should be? Because, like you said, like in Israel, everyone serves.
I don't think that you should have to serve. I don't think that you should have to serve in the military across seas fighting in combat. You could serve.
Well, if there's
your
no
National
conflict,
Guard,
you're not fighting.
You know what I mean? Or you could serve it according to whatever fits you best. If you're a cook,
right,
and you cook good,
right,
fuck, you're a cook. They got to eat,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If
the military is the one who's gonna put you into these channels,
and that's where,
like, see me, I know a different language, right?
Right.
Immediately,
so now you could be some kind of interpreter.
Immediately, my ass would be on in intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
I already know.
Mm-hmm. Well, intelligence is a whole.
Well, if that's the
point. The point of it is like.
I just want to be a spook.
I don't think.
I just want to be a spook.
I don't think that Donald Trump was qualified.
I want to be Smokey from the X.
I don't think that Donald Trump before Donald Trump became the president of the United States. I never thought that he should be qualified as a president of the United States because you've never seen anyone in history become a president without any political background.
Right.
But what the fuck does that go to say?
Because it opened the door for anyone to be president. I'll give him that.
But
that's what it sounds like.
What's wrong with that, though?
That the last 4 years.
Okay, because it was Donald Trump.
Embarrassing.
So now,
It's
if
embarrassing.
Elon Musk,
Like,
if Elon Musk stood up
let me
right
tell,
now,
look, from a prospect of
That would be another mess all over again if Elon Musk trying to run for president
for
as
real.
well.
In a way, yes, because he's an engineer. He wouldn't have no idea
what's
what to
wrong
do
with
with
that?
government.
Who's Andrew Yang?
Andrew Yang, that's why he didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? He was another million.
So you think that anyone who runs for president of the United States should have political background?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
So if I go run for
I see
Congress,
his point.
if I go run for
I see
Congress,
where he's
I think
going
they
with
should
this.
have some political
if I go
background.
run for Congress right now, like I just told you, I have a GED. I don't have any college education.
But how about like,
right?
But how about like Mahatma Gandhi? I know he doesn't exist no more, but I'm saying. You
No,
know what I'm
he
saying?
has a whole other purpose.
But like hear me out though, or like the Dalai Lama. Or
They have a whole other purpose.
You know what I'm saying?
They're not political.
They're not political,
they're
but they could bring people together.
But they have, like, we have freedom of religion here in the United States.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like they would push their religious agenda, which wouldn't be a total bad thing, but it'd be a peaceful agenda. But all in all, as far as we're discussing right now, that's not qualified.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just curious because, like, I mean, as far as people that are not on the political stage, you know, we've just had one. We had a reality TV show host for 4 years. You know,
Businessman. So
shit.
No,
Look,
you gotta call
he's a
it how it
shitty
is,
businessman. Like, you know, I mean.
Look, I think if you wanna if you wanna be the leader of an entire country of however many million of people, the free world, like 50 states, like a lot of opinions, a lot of thoughts, a lot of people who feel that they can just come in with a force. 2 weeks ago, storming the Capitol. These people who feel like they have all this freedom. If you feel like you're able to take on that task and you do not have actual political experience to know what you are about to walk into, you can make things a little bit more chaotic than people might have wanted them to turn out to be. Not to say that you can't run for president, because again, being in this fantastic free land that we're in, you can do whatever you want. Anybody can run for president. Anybody can. Obviously, anybody can, and anybody can win. But
if you weren't born here,
there's certain criteria. You have to be a natural born citizen.
No, there are rules. I understand that part. I understand that part. There are rules. I understand that part. Point being, though, you can definitely do it without political experience, clearly.
True.
Whether you win or not win, that is up to the people, the electoral votes, all that good stuff.
Yep, this was
but yeah,
but that's the thing, though.
That doesn't mean that it's going to be a good turnout, and it doesn't mean it's going to be a right choice, and it doesn't mean it's going to be a good choice.
Yes.
So basically, he should have political experience. I think he should, because it helps. It's like me going and like teaching somebody tennis and then being like, yo, we want you to run this program. And me being like, well, I've never swung a tennis racket before, but I got this. And like, just fucking throwing the kids to the wolves. Like, it would be insane. Also, and parents would see that shit. It would be chaotic. I would never have a class again. Like, it's a snowball effect. The fact that like he's in this contract for 4 years. So regardless of what he does, and they tried to impeach him last year, if you remember, or excuse me, in 2019, they did try to impeach him.
Correct.
And it didn't work. I don't know why, but it didn't work.
There was legality behind it.
But that's what I'm saying. There's all these like hoops and loops and things like that. Like, you can still be a president and get the way through. Like, you can still make your whole, you know, you can make the whole term. But it's just a matter of like, this is a little messy.
This is why the whole voter fraud shit didn't stick, because there's legalities behind it too. There's a constitution,
yeah, of course.
And there's laws that has to be upheld.
And I totally, I'm all for that, and I totally get that. But listen, there's messy, there's not messy, and the last 4 years were messy. I don't care what nobody says. It was a mess. I mean, and it's just like, it's unfortunate because it's just like, listen, you won, man. You could have done a lot of really good things because people were like rooting for you, and those who, even if people weren't rooting for you, they're like, okay, listen, we got to have some faith.
I just seen something today actually when I walked into Boris's on a show. It was like he had 42% popular, opinion for him. So I don't think he had a whole, hoorah behind him upholding him.
No, I'm talking about the first term, the first election. He had like people who were rooting for him, that clearly voted him in.
There will always be
But
Republicans who vote for Republicans.
I don't think they knew what they were getting into.
I don't.
Guys.
no,
Right,
I get
so
that. But and I told, yeah, absolutely. Nobody really knew.
No,
But then there were people who were like, yeah, we totally support him and like MAGA
Yes.
and all the good things. And then there are people who did not support him. Though he won, those people who supported him were like, yes, the guy we voted for won. This is good. As anybody is going to react, right?
That's the thing.
But then there are people who did not vote for him who were like, okay, we didn't want this outcome, but this is the outcome.
Right.
So let's hope that he does the right thing.
But did they say that?
Lo and fucking behold.
But did they say that? Because look, Republicans are.
I did. I know a lot of people who did.
Republicans are going to vote Republican, no matter what.
Yeah.
Democrats are going to vote Democrat, no matter what.
A problem.
You know what I mean? That is
okay.
a problem. That's what I'm saying.
That's a big problem.
That's what I'm saying. And regardless of who the Republican candidate is, Donald Trump is not a fucking Republican. You understand?
True.
He was more of a fucking Democrat before he ever ran for office, but he fit in as a Republican candidate.
Right.
He
He just ran on that platform because that platform is available.
He's a New Yorker.
It suited him.
He's a New Yorker, bro. What is New York? New York is a fucking blue state.
Yo, we're Democrat all the way, Scott.
So with that being said, it's like Republicans will vote Republican no matter what. And those
but New York is only a blue state because of the city.
Right.
If you want to get like into like, because most of the state is red though. Most of the state is red.
Yeah, of course.
Right, but it's just a city though, so it's just like a lot of these people. I don't know.
The majority is the city, and that's where it counts. So that's what makes New York a blue state. Because the city is a vertical space. You know what I mean? The upstate is widespread. So that's what makes it the blue state that it is, because the masses live in the city of New York. But it's a simple
as far as electoral, yes.
I don't think that everyone who voted or got behind Donald Trump at first believed in him wholeheartedly. I think that what they wanted to see was a change in the political world.
The establishment.
They wanted to shake down this fucking establishment. They were sick of the PC world that we just spoke about, that we defined. Right? And they wanted something different.
He created that floor of people being like, yo, we can wild out. Like,
no, I don't think
we can show our asses.
I don't
like,
think it was that.
Let's
right.
go.
I think it was that necessarily wasn't that good neither. Right?
I think it was an alternative.
I see where you're saying.
They wanted because they felt like this is the lesser of two evils every time they vote, and there's no difference, ever, regardless. It's a fucking seesaw.
Oh no, I feel like this is probably, I've been alive for the whole last 30 years, and I feel like this was bad.
Yep.
I understand.
I kind of agree.
I understand.
I feel like this was bad. Like if you think about it, like out of like all, like how many, like if I can recall, just like based on just memory, I can like think of like 6 presidents that we've had, right? Like those who have done 2 terms, whatever, 6, 7 presidents. Like I don't know. I mean, again, I was born in '89, so like early '90s I know were rough as well. The '80s was rough, but like I feel like between that time that I was born till now, like this was rough. But like this was like not good.
Is that the president's fault? Look, hold on.
Let me say something real quick.
Hold on. I'm being an advocate right now, okay? I'm an independent. I'm a registered independent.
And a registered gun owner.
I'm a registered independent.
Good.
Yeah, I am.
He got guns. I'm going to his house when shit get real.
No, good. You should definitely be a registered gun owner.
Look,
I would.
If you feel safe about it and you're like confident in that belief, 100%.
Safety all day.
Yeah.
First thing foremost, you know what I mean? And that's why I'm a registered gun owner. You know what I mean?
Like I believe people should own guns. I believe there should be like tighter rules and laws on guns and stuff like that. But I definitely believe people should own guns.
Gang banging with a fucking illegal gun.
I can't afford guns.
But
I love guns so much. Though.
I do it the right way. But look, damn, now fucking lost track of what I was saying.
Yo, this was I was in the DR a couple of years ago.
Well, hold up.
But just real quick, let me throw this out there because this is what you can remember what you were saying for now. Because this is to Remy's point when she was saying that it was it's bad.
Oh yeah.
I was out in the DR and there's mad different people you see when you vacation and shit. And there was I met a couple
tourists.
I met a couple of British people at the bar out there,
Oh God.
The first thing these people said to me was like, "How are you guys doing over there?" Once again,
Yeah,
like,
man. That's
like,
every
oh,
time.
how are you guys doing out there, man, with this fucking guy and this is into that and
Every
with that?
time.
And you know, it's the first time that the shit sank in.
Yo.
I was like,
Besides the Queen.
like I'm not talking about British
No,
people
no, no, no,
specifically.
no,
You know
no,
what I'm
no,
saying?
no.
Like
But
just a
okay.
foreigner
But
just
here's the
going to
thing.
me like.
But besides the Queen, who the fuck you know in politics over there? Who you know in politics over there?
Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister.
That's great.
Who's like a British-looking Trump.
A British looking Trump, he said, bro.
Well, he looks like him. Visually, just visually.
The world.
He looks like a messy Trump.
The world. America is Tupac. All eyes on us, bro.
All eyes on us.
Everybody knows what the fuck.
Yeah,
going on
all the
in
time.
America
And like the way we
in the
just fucking been
political world.
looking the last couple of years is crazy.
Because we are the leader of the free world. No, it's always though. They always know who the fuck's in charge.
It's almost like the alpha male in the group took LSD and everybody just has to watch him and make sure like
I got my point.
You know what I'm saying?
I got my point.
Talk to me.
Why over the last 4 years?
It's a question.
All right. Why over the last 4 years and all the turmoil and disastrous view that the American people have on this, why is it Trump's fault?
What do you mean? Who's blaming him?
Nobody's saying, I don't think it's his fault. I'm not saying it's like the last 4 years. It's like he steps to the office and there's just a shit show. There's a team behind him as well. There are people
to have him as a leader.
No, I'm asking you though.
That's all.
Yeah.
No, but over the last 4 years that Trump's been in office was just stated that it was a shit show. Why is it all his fault?
Because he told us to inject bleach and rake forest.
No, nobody's okay. So if we're really getting into like a whole breakdown, there's a cabinet, you know, there's a whole team and a squad with him, right? All these people were voted in. He's not necessarily bringing them in. These are people who voted him in.
You appoint your cabinet. They're not voted in.
But people beneath him, but people who wanted him there. It's not necessarily him who made these steps. There are people who are like, ooh, this guy is probably the good choice. We're going to vote him in. Therefore, he will go along with the things that we might want him to do, right? Because you have to converse with him and pass all these laws and bills and stuff like that. So I'm sure all these people are presenting him with things that he overlooks and is like, yeah, this is good. I approve.
His cabinet doesn't pass laws and approve.
No, I'm not saying the cabinet. I'm saying Congress will present. So people who want him there. So Republicans who are in Congress, anybody who has wanted him there, and they finally see him there as an option, or as an opportunity to pass some of these bills and laws, right? So they look at him as like, yes, this person will definitely pass this. Oh, I like his policy on that. He'll definitely pass this. So I'm sure that these people are super excited to have somebody in that position who can get them to where they want to be. So it's not that he's necessarily doing all these things. It's just that he has the power to say yes or no to some of these things that other people might want. So the fact that some things might have happened, not necessarily being his fault. I can't say it again.
He has the power to veto anything that comes by.
He does, absolutely. He does.
It's up to the Senate to pass anything Congress writes.
Okay. So he has the option to veto. So then if he doesn't veto, what happens?
How many vetoes do he have?
I don't know. If he doesn't veto, though, what happens?
Against the Democrats.
It goes to Democrats?
How many?
Oh.
I don't know. I'm asking.
How many times did Trump stop any laws being passed like that?
0.
Okay.
Are you asking? Is this rhetorical?
No, I don't know the numbers.
Okay.
Well, I know he didn't veto anything.
Right.
He didn't stop anything.
Right. And then the other thing is they have the power of an executive order, which also is temporary. So any executive order he puts in play, it's only temporary until Congress and Senate vote it out.
Yes.
So how much power does the executive branch have?
Well, it's only a face card.
No.
Really and truly, the president is a face.
It's checks and balances.
The president is
a law and order. Right? No.
The president is the face.
This is the
he's
point.
He's like the JPEG for your podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like if I pull up, I'll pull up like the fucking intro sign to my podcast right now. boom, this is the president.
No, I'm listening.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the reality to me seems like the real
mm-hmm.
he's just a representation to the world of this is what America is. But
he's
really,
he's a front man.
like
he's a front man.
I look at the budget. You know what I'm saying? When I look at the national budget,
yeah,
I find out who the real front runners
are. So who's that?
I find out who like when I look at that pie chart and
who's that?
We're getting there. It bugs me to fuck out. To be real with you.
First and foremost, let me just say this. Let me just state this. I'm playing devil's advocate.
You could also state your own opinions if you'd like.
Oh, I've been doing it. No. I haven't been doing it. I've been saying facts. Just facts. That's all.
I know, but
I have opinions.
But your opinions matter.
No, my opinions don't
matter.
This
is the GodMode podcast. This isn't the United States of America.
You said it.
This is the GodMode podcast.
You said
here. Your opinions are worth more than facts will ever be.
My opinions were never announced yet. You announced my opinion.
No, not at all. I would presume to announce your.
You announced my opinion on my opinion on gun rights. You said he's also
a gun owner,
a legal, licensed gun owner.
But that's not an opinion. That's a fact.
That is, but that's my opinion on. I chose.
Right, but that's all fact.
Right, it is a fact.
That's all.
But it's also
at the end of the day.
So that's the only opinion.
Your opinion is to be right about it and to be gun safe. The next thing you said was, "I'm all about gun safety." That was an opinion of yours, which is a good opinion to have.
Right.
Yes.
Right. That's the only opinion I stated.
All right.
So far, only thing I've said.
You're making me forget my point.
No, I'm just making my point because you told me to hold on.
Let's go. Talk to me.
Is this? I want you guys to both understand this. I am not an advocate, a voice for Trump right now, although I'm stating facts. Okay, I'm not against you whatsoever. I just want to put that out there as I continue to.
Absolutely not.
Discuss,
I know you're not against it.
You know what I mean? I just want you both to know that. All right. Not by no means am I a fucking Trump advocate. Okay.
We've already had one of those on here. His name was Brooklyn Bob.
And
oh God, no.
And now, and now, yo, that's what I was gonna say. What did I do when I was here with him?
Abused him, ripped him.
I'm like, yo, bro, you for real with this shit? You for real with this Trump shit?
Real quick.
Yeah, that's the perfect. That's the perfect example.
I'm gonna say, Novi, what's your opinion of Brooklyn Bob?
We don't need to know that. We don't need to know that.
Jamie, finish what you were saying.
We're not talking about that.
Yes.
We're not talking about that.
Yes.
We're not talking about that. That's irrelevant as fuck.
How you sitting?
I'm good.
Hey, unofficial sponsor for the podcast, Tito's Vodka. We take free shit or money. Free shit or money.
What does that mean?
Okay. Sponsors.
Oh, or no, look. What I was just saying is, I don't want you guys to think because like I'm, playing devil's advocate right now. All right.
Oh no, I have no problem saying I don't like the man, and I have my reasons. I don't need to get like super deep and wild into it, but don't like the man.
I'm not one-sided at all. I don't sit here and be like, yo, Trump is the fucking man. But I also will not play along with the narrative that the fucking mainstream media has made him to be because it's not all true. I'm not saying it's not true in general, but it's not all true.
Agreed.
Understand? And I also wanted to advocate this. He was not responsible for everything that happened over the last 4 years. By any means. By any means. And the fact that they put it on that man, and regardless of who the fuck he is or what he's done in his past, it's not his fault for everything that happened over the last 4 years.
You know what I think it is? I think they put it
It's easy to do that. It's easy to do that shit.
I think they put,
but it's not his fucking fault.
I think they put it onto his reaction.
Mm-mm.
I think that since the man is a shitty public figure,
you can say that, but
what people expect is, somebody to stick to the teleprompter.
What people expect is the PC politician.
Yes.
You understand?
Well, he lacks compassion. as a human being.
Let's just put it this way.
And it's,
does he know? Does
it's
he
a
know?
shitty.
Does he know?
It's a shitty
does he know?
part of leadership
wait.
when you lack compassion.
No, let's talk facts and not opinions.
Okay.
Does he know?
I believe so. But again,
why?
That's my own personal opinion
and
from
that's
my observations of the digestion of the media that I've been fed.
Oh.
Yes? I do not know the man personally.
Oh.
You see.
So
I can't tell you what he's like behind closed. I could tell you what you're like behind closed doors. I could tell you how Novi is behind closed doors because I know you personally. And I could trust my opinion of yous close to facts.
But
to tell people who you are, if I am to be honest about you while describing you. Now, this motherfucker here, I can't.
Right.
Because one piece of media is feeding me this, the other piece of media is feeding me that. Now this jerk off out of the back of his van is feeding me this.
What pieces of media you watch?
You know what I'm saying? I watch every piece of media just to see how fucking stupid it really is. But, okay, what I was going to say way before, as an immigrant in this country, the only thing that now, mind you, my mother and my father, hardcore communists from back in the day. Heavy Trump supporters. Heavy. Okay?
Wait, when?
And it's hilarious because we get into on Christmas and New Year's we got into battles with my mother. My father had to break it up and shit. But
your mother was a Trump supporter?
Well, both of them are, but my father.
They both are now.
They've been both of them been.
Right now, currently, they're Trump supporters.
Been and currently, yes.
Interesting.
Yes, the both of them.
And they moved you here?
Yes.
From communist Russia.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it did.
That's interesting.
But see, the problem is, I know. Well, actually, not me personally, because I was a kid. They know what real communism is.
Right.
Now, the shit that y'all think is being portrayed as communism and socialism, socialism, and fascism here, you motherfuckers have no idea. You need to shut the fuck
up.
No,
everybody has their right.
Like, it's that simple.
Everyone has their right.
What I'm saying is, they have lived through the shit, and I've seen maybe 5 to 10% of what it is. As Americans talking about socialism and fascism in this country, shut the fuck up. You have no idea.
So does that apply to your parents?
That's why they have. I don't know why they like Trump. I can't tell you why they like Trump.
Because what I just asked you. Does that view on shut the fuck up about communism as a American citizen, does that apply to your parents who fled Russia's communist grip?
Does that apply to me personally?
Does it apply to your parents, that view?
I would say no, because they've been through the other thing.
So they know real communism.
Yes, sir.
They know the signs and the forewarnings of communism.
Yes, sir.
They were in the middle of communism
and socialism. They go hand in hand.
Right.
Real.
Right.
Real communism and real socialism. Here's
the thing. Too much of anything will kill you.
Carrot juice, for example.
Too much of anything will kill you.
I love carrot juice.
The word socialism is so feared. The word socialism is
that's
so.
What got
that's
what got Bernie shut down
so
twice,
left.
Pops.
The word socialism
that
is
word
so
got
left.
Him shut down twice from the presidency.
But what are we issued with when we are born here in the United States of America? What are we issued with when we are born here in the United States of America?
A bank account. I mean, a social security number.
And a birth certificate. But what is the word there?
Social.
Right.
Security.
Right. So socialism isn't all that bad, but you got to take it in doses.
Right.
People have to understand what all this shit is. You know what I mean?
Well, see, communism.
The right fears that. The right fears that.
In true form. In its true form, communism will never work based on the human condition.
Communism will never work because it's
based on, if you apply it to robots, communism is perfect.
Well, we're not fucking robots,
right?
So that's
humanity. Listen, humanity is the strongest part. Okay, All right.
Well, let's
All right.
break it
If
down.
I put no. If I put this cup under a boil, right, and I bring it down to facts, the things that will be left in this cup by the time this
The
water,
purity of it.
the purity of it. You know what that is? It's greed. And
That's what it all boils down to,
right.
bro.
And
This
greed,
is why
and greed is the reason that communism, for instance, can never work.
greed.
Okay?
Greed is the reason why.
If we're talking about communism,
No, if
it
we're talking
can't
about
work because what happens is
human nature.
right. Greed
Human nature.
turns. Greed turns
Not just
communism
communist.
into an oligarchy.
Greed,
Don't you see?
greed turns this beautiful nation that we live in right now into what it is now.
Capitalism.
No, capitalism isn't a problem. Like I said,
It is.
doses.
Capitalism is synonymous
Capitalism,
with greed.
capitalism
Synonymous
in
with
a
greed.
fucking strenuous.
It's another way to
No,
say greed.
No, it's not.
Capitalism.
Capitalism is a way that the
It's
American
competing
people.
for profits.
What's wrong with competition? Does everyone want a fucking first place trophy?
Competing
Everyone
for
wants a.
profit.
There's no problem with that as long
Profit.
as long as it's fair
If the word
ground.
profit was removed, competition is fine with me.
Well, how would you profit off of what you do without capitalism? And that's why I said socialism is not
Star
a bad.
Trek, son.
Bro, we're talking. What we
Star
talking
Trek.
here, bro? What we talking
Captain
here?
Picard, son.
What we talking? This is what happens.
And
This is what happens when I stop motherfuckers
James T.
with real shit.
What?
This is what happens when
Remy,
I
help
stop motherfuckers. Yeah, somebody help me.
me. Navi, help me.
Somebody help.
Because I
Somebody
know
help
you
anything,
understand what
bro.
I'm saying when I say James T. Cart and Picard in them.
Everything.
I know you know what I'm saying.
Too much of anything
Will
is
kill
deadly.
you.
Understand me?
Yes.
Too much of capitalism will fucking kill you. We can't have complete capitalism here. We can't have it. We can't have complete democracy here. This is a republic. But we have to have a democracy here as well.
So,
You understand?
So what are the percentages
We have to-
of what we have here? What is your opinion?
I
on
don't
percentages?
have statistics like that. I don't have logistics like that.
Your
I'm just saying-
opinion on what the percentages are.
The percentage is this. 50-50. Okay? There's a right and there's a left. There's red and there's blue. And that's the fucking problem in this nation.
Contra.
And it's the lesser of two evils. It's the lesser of two evils. And this is why we're divided. This is why we're divided. It's not because of the POTUS. It's more because of the career politicians in Congress and the Senate who have no term limit. And you don't have to hold them accountable for anything.
And the
They
Supreme
could
Court
just-
judges.
Nobody cares about the lesser vote, the voting system
Right.
of voting in the Senate and Congress. When's the last time you went out and voted for a Congress member you know?
I did not. Never.
And
Never.
if anybody has, it's because they know them personally. You understand me?
Mm.
Nobody it starts from that ground roots level, and it's been flipped. The American people have been duped to believe that we are voting these fucking people into office, and they're in charge. They have the power. It shouldn't be like that.
Power of
We
what?
are
You know what I'm
over
saying?
a republic of people.
Like at the end of
The
the day,
republic
like,
of people is a democracy, and that's what balances out the United States of America. But it only works when the people are in power, and the people who they put in power answer to the people who voted them in, and hold them accountable for that. It's not the POTUS.
Do you
It's
think?
all of it in general.
Do you think that the riots were a part of what you're saying?
I think that all of it is a part of what I'm saying. Is the division of the biased news outlets, who you have a CNN who is left and a Fox that is right,
Like
and they
way
spew
way left
they
and way
spew
right.
what the fuck they want to spew for their fucking sides, right? Not for the better of the entire United States of America. You get to pick and choose what news you want to fucking see.
Right.
not the truth.
Well, like the
Not the
like
truth.
the Facebook timeline.
This should be a law.
That's
It should be a law that you have to report facts.
I like that.
Facts.
I like that.
Not
I like that.
not what's best for
Y'all
your
hear
party.
that shit, news outlets?
Not what's best for
We
your
know
party.
the deal.
You understand me? It's not about that shit.
Look,
Because I don't give a fuck about Donald Trump. And I understand the passion that everyone wanted, or the majority of people wanted him out of office, right? But you replace him with Joe Biden. That was our best. That was our best that we could do.
No.
From the left.
No.
You ever heard of fucking Tulsi Gabbard?
Yes.
You ever heard of Tulsi Gabbard?
Yes, I have.
Who served in the military?
Yeah.
A woman. She was fucking brutalized.
Well, same as what's his name, Pete Buttigieg and them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was another one.
Look, first
he
and
was
foremost,
young.
First and foremost,
That
the
boy
fact
was
that,
young.
The fact that we have debates, right, and they bash each other, and they throw out all the dirt, right, and then they're good with each other after that shit. Like the whole Pence shit, right? Pence was Trump's #1 supporter, if you want to go political, right?
Right.
What was Pence's doing? He was at inauguration day today, chilling with them. It's politics.
Because he won. He's
that's
still
politics.
trying to keep his job in
It's
politics, Pops. Yeah.
It's politics,
Yeah.
right? So although he didn't agree with them this whole entire time, they're all chilling, elbow bumping and hugging and shit. You know what I mean?
Politics isn't about friends. Politics is about how you can keep you and your family afloat without having to do too much. Like,
right.
DJ Novi
Right.
in the building.
And
like,
that's
so
the
again, this goes
problem.
back to like, I think you should have some experience if you're gonna like take over shit.
Right.
But you don't have to be a politician. You could still win without being a politician. You just have to know how to play your cards right. AKA Mike Pence is at the inauguration because he's still playing the game. He wants to keep his job. Like,
that's
he
the
could give a shit
problem.
about them.
Facts.
That's the problem.
Facts.
Because, you know, where's Mike Pence's political career going to go from here? He's not going to be in politics anymore. He might get an interview.
Who knows?
But no,
who knows?
He's a sitting vice president.
He needs to get over being ostracized for being the vice president.
He don't need to get over shit. He's there. He did the peaceful transfer to the next administration.
But now for him, say what you. Yeah, like if he wants to hold his position and he wants to still feel, or like not feel like,
what
but if
position?
like
he's done.
What'd you say?
You don't go.
What position? What position?
There's no position. There's no position he's going to take again because you don't go from Congress or Senate to vice president and then what? Only thing you do from that point is run for presidency. And he's not going to run for president. He's not going to run president. He's going to sit back and now he's going to retire, right?
And he'll still have to have some type of position in politics, some type of meaningful place where people are not going to forget him.
He's going to have
he wants to be able to. He's going to have a voice, yeah.
No one will ever forget him. Trust me.
Well, now,
no, he's going to have a voice.
Being remembered or forgotten or being paid?
No.
Paid. That's what I mean. No. Like, you don't want to fall by the wayside. You want to make sure that you still have a place and things are still okay for you. Like, you want to make sure things are still afloat for you.
Right.
Like.
So we're back to the greed argument.
No, we're back to
or self-preservation, at least self-preservation,
or at least that.
He's already established a contingency.
So you're saying that the only way for him to go is down from here?
No, it's not down.
So what are you saying?
He's at his plateau.
That's fine for him, but and good for him. That is exactly what he wants.
I don't give a fuck.
If he did not go to inauguration, he probably plateaued the same, but he probably wouldn't get as much opportunity to show his face and to get a paycheck and to still be like a household name. Like
he could go into the basement of his fucking Vermont fucking mansion and never fucking show a surface ever again, and he will be good for the rest of his life, and so will the 3 generations
of Pence's after.
So, okay. So that's a good point that you make. So back to like a tennis analogy. Tennis is an incredible sport, by the way. If either of you have ever had a chance to get into it, it's very, very deeply embedded into like real life shit. So when you have a professional athlete, okay, let's say Roger Federer, for example, right? #1 male tennis player in the world. He held his position down as #1 for 10 plus maybe not consecutive years, but on and off over like a
That's
series of like 10 years, just
That's
number
an
one player in
amazing
the world.
run. It's an amazing run.
Has earned top tier money, has the highest gross in sponsorships and everything like that. Now, mind you, if he decided not to do sponsorships, based on just his skill in tennis alone, he would be fine. His kids would be fine. His grandkids would be fine. You totally make a fantastic point as far as Mike Pence being okay and his family being okay if he just locked himself in a basement, right? But now there's certain imagery that people like to uphold, right? Like I feel like you're the kind of person, if somebody said, yo, fuck you, Zeno, like I could give a shit about you, like, yo, kill yourself, you'd be like, all right, bro, like I give a fuck. Like I feel like you don't care about stuff like that, right?
That's egotistic.
People who are in politics do.
That's egotistic.
But people in politics do. So it's not really our place, not mine, not yours. You can have an opinion, we can have an opinion, but it's not really either of our position to say, well, they'll be fine if they lock themselves away. We don't know that. Like they might have certain paychecks coming in and they know that there's a certain salary that they're going to have for life that is going to keep their family like comfortable for sure. But for these people, if they don't continue to hold up a certain stature in their lives or in front of their family or in front of their fans or people who follow them in politics, they could lose a certain track record that goes along with their family, that goes along with their name, and that goes along with opportunities that happens in the future.
You're right.
So
You're right, but
if you have people who are afraid to like show their faces, like think about the Clintons, right? Like Bill Clinton was a president. Hillary Clinton is part of the Senate now. So like when I hear the name Clinton, I don't think of Bill, I think of Hillary because she's relevant, because her face is around. She may have lost the election. She could have definitely shelled away and hid away and never showed her face again, because that shit it sucks to lose to this clown. But at the same time, for her, it's not a matter of like losing and shying away. It's a matter of just being like, you know what, that happened. It sucks, but I have to do what I have to do to continue to get that money or to continue to save face or whatever it is, whatever her reason might be. She's in politics. So these people care about that shit. Whatever, I don't know, who knows what Donald Trump is gonna do tomorrow when it comes to like, you know, dealing with the inauguration or whatever. I have no idea. He likes that kind of like thing.
I think he's getting drunk
so
in
like
Mar-a-Lago right now.
You want to know what?
possibly very likely, and that's do that because you can do that. You have that money, you can ball out, go ham. But
you want to know what he's gonna do?
What?
He's gonna sit back and do him. Because
that's what I'm saying. Who knows? Who cares? Nobody cares because he has that. He can do that. But point being is that people in politics are about an image. They do want to make sure that there are certain things about themselves that they keep alive versus other things.
Well, there's a reason they call it
what
political theater.
Well, for what reason?
Yeah,
for what reason? For what reason does Mike Pence need to do that?
It's public life.
Why did they get into politics in the first place?
It's public life.
To serve the people.
No. No.
Well, then that's the problem.
No. They think that they're serving the people. They like to, again, it's an image thing. It's a matter of saying, okay, if I do this for these people, then I can move up higher into the ranks. If that's what you want, you can go up higher in the ranks.
No one knows about
what you mean?
it.
What you
know what I'm saying?
What you mean?
That's a dude who serves the people.
Hold
so,
up.
like,
Hold
you know
up.
what I'm saying?
What do you mean, no, he did not get into it to serve the people?
What?
What do you mean he did not get into it to serve the people?
Who's he?
Mike Pence, or any politician for that matter.
You said that they get into it that people go into politics to serve the people, and I said not necessarily. No.
But they.
Why?
You serve the people. You are serving the people, but most of this is a democracy, right? Like a lot of times when things are happening, there's a vote that goes into play, whether it's us, the people, or if there's a certain people that sit at a table of 5 or 6 people and they say, yo, so what are we about to do about this thing?
No.
Whatever, however people make decisions, you get into politics. I think people get into politics because it's an imagery thing. Like, yes, they feel like there are certain ways that they can help the people. And there are people who don't want to be presidents because they're like, listen, I want to be here. I want to be in Congress. I want to be the mayor. I want to be the governor. I want to stay in this level because I feel like I can help the people to do these things. But I feel like people who try to go higher, they're not doing very much at that point. Anybody who we're seeing on TV and that we're like, you know, CNN and all that, like, I don't know. I feel like there's a certain level that you reach where I'm just not even.
As a tennis proficient, as you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you train someone, what are you training them to do?
To be the best in the world.
Okay, so you're serving that person.
Not all the time. As a general thought, that is what people always imagine, is that they want to be the best in the world. A lot of the times people are doing it to work out.
That's up to them. That's up to their standards.
He's asking you what you do when you train them.
When you train someone,
I train everybody to make sure they have a great time on the court.
The most proficient.
All right, she said to have a great
I gave you
time
I told you.
on the court. So
to make sure they come off the court and say that they had a great lesson.
Playing the game.
Have they feel good after the lesson? They get off the court and they say, "Listen, that was great. Thank you so much."
That was a bad analogy, but however, a political figure is sworn into office and takes an oath amongst the Constitution to serve the people who voted him in. So I don't give a fuck what agenda they had going forward. If they want to be a political face, if they wanted to end up being...
You asked, why do people get into politics? And I said, I think it's about image. I didn't say anything about swearing anything, whatever. People do what they do after they get sworn in. That's on them. I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about one particular event. We're talking about a general picture.
That's a job. It's a job. A fireman.
But you asked, why do I think people get into politics? And that was what it was. I think it's because it's an imagery thing. It's just that's one event. You're talking about one event.
I didn't ask an opinion on why people get into politics.
You asked me, why do I think people get into politics?
You asked her for her opinion unwittingly.
No, it was rhetorical. It was rhetorical.
And she gave you her opinion.
And you let me answer, and it was rhetorical, but you let me give you a whole answer?
I did. No, because I like to listen. I like to listen.
Jamie. Jamie.
Straight out the Brooklyn basement.
Okay, my man. I like how you talk about you want to be devil's advocate and you want to bring up all of this and you want to bring up all of that.
No,
it's okay to say that you are a Trump supporter. It's fine. Nobody's gonna like. But I'm saying it's not a problem because I say I'm not a Trump supporter. Like I'm not, and it's okay to say that you are. There's no problem in it. Shut up, Boris. No, it's not shots fired. It's really not. Because what I'm saying is, if you want to play devil's advocate, that's fine. But I feel like
I'm not playing devil's advocate.
We're going around in a lot of circles about the same thing, and then you're saying, well, I didn't say that, and I didn't have an opinion, but I asked this, and that's not what I meant. Like,
this beauty of it. I love the First Amendment. I support the First
Amendment. I know I can have an opinion. That's not what I said. I said that you're saying that you didn't have an opinion. I know I can. I very well know that I can.
I'm not
but you're saying that you didn't have one, or you didn't ask this, or this was rhetorical.
No.
I don't like that we're.
Listen.
It's like I'm not wrong, or I didn't say this thing. Like, come on.
Wrong. I never said you were wrong about having your opinion. I'm saying
I didn't say that either. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
I've listened completely, and I could reiterate right back to you what you just said. However,
what did I say?
What I'm saying is this. You have 100% right to your opinion on what you believe a political figure has an agenda to be once he's voted into office. However, what I'm saying is it's not what his agenda is. It's what he has sworn an oath to the people that voted him in, to his political representation for the people.
Okay.
No, it's not.
We're talking about the legalities of it.
This is what I'm talking
about. No, go ahead. Finish what you're. No, hold on. Wait. Let him finish.
What the fuck are we talking about?
His own agenda may be different.
Bro.
You can swear me in as a politician, and I'll be like, yeah. I'll uphold all that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
As long as the lobbyists in the background pay me my bread. Yeah. I'm with that. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you could have people like that too.
No, you will have people like that, is what I'm saying. But what they're supposed to do and what they do is two different things. Do you understand me? What they're supposed to do is uphold.
Now we're cooking with gasoline.
No, this is what I've been saying, but nobody wants to hear the shit. What they're supposed to do, and I'm not against any of you, is what I was just saying.
No.
And then it turns back. No, and then it turns back to I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not a fucking Trump supporter. I'm an American citizen. Okay? And the reason why I was playing devil's advocate in the beginning is because there's only one way to do that, is to not be biased.
To question everything.
And question everything. So with what I'm saying now, this is facts. When you are voted into office as a political figure, Congress or Senate, you uphold an oath.
You're supposed to.
No. You are legally
uphold. Constitutionally sworn to uphold.
So who upholds that shit? Who upholds it and who holds them accountable? Who holds them accountable?
No one.
You?
No one.
Because you're
No
looking at
one.
them as a political figure.
No
Where,
one.
yeah, they said
I
that,
can't
but it's
hold them
okay.
accountable.
It's okay. Oh, they got into it for this, but that really isn't what they were supposed to do. They just wanted a political phase. They wanted a name.
The thing
and they
is-
want to carry on their legacy. So when Mike Pence is done, that's the plateau. I know exactly where I was at.
How long do you think he can ride that plateau?
He's done. There's nothing wrong with that.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to be a president. And that's the problem with politics. You don't have to be.
True.
You served your purpose as vice president, and you did the best you could. And guess what he did in the vote for, what is it called?
Well, that means that old Sleepy Joe got it like real nice because he was a vice president and he was a president.
So nobody
like,
else-
as far as political career is concerned,
No.
my son slaps right now.
No.
Right now. Slaps right now.
No.
Yes? No?
Listen. Could we just come to the terms? Could we just come to the terms real quick? That regardless of what you see a political figure as or what he aspires to be, is two different things than what he is upheld to be and voted in to be. No, we can't agree to that.
Agreed. I can agree.
Can we agree to that?
Yes.
Yes.
You're supposed to uphold your oath.
Constitutionally, the fuck yes you are.
Do we not believe?
The fuck
Do
yes
we
you
not?
are.
Are we Americans?
In a perfect world?
Are we Americans?
Yes, sir.
Are we looking forward to a better America?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All fucking
So this
day.
is what I want, and I hope to God Joe Biden and Kamala Harris
Figure this shit out.
not figure. Yeah, that's a long way from here and there. I hope that in their next 4 years they uphold the constitutional rights and privileges that the American
For better
people
or for worse.
voted them in for.
For better or for worse.
For better, not for worse. For better. So can we say that a political figure that's voted into office is supposed to uphold a constitutional oath?
Yes.
Absolutely. I think everyone can agree with that.
So you can say they have an agenda. That's fine.
It's how far they try to
Right?
perpetuate
Because
that
I don't
agenda.
think that anyone gets into politics like, hey, I'm going to fucking... And, hey, look, and this is just me saying this. I don't think anyone gets into politics like, hey, I'm not going to do right for the people who voted me in. For the small congressional district that they're voted in for and they started their politics, they don't get into it to be like, yo, I know where I'm going and I'm going to tell these people what they want to hear, but once I get there, fuck you. I know it happens.
To be real.
It happens.
To be
No,
real,
I'm being real.
I'm going to boil it down to greed again.
It always is.
There's
And
very few...
that's when politics becomes corrupt. That's when politics...
There's very few people that run on the principles you're talking about.
Right. And
there's
that's my
very
point.
few of them who
Ready?
actually succeed
Ready? So
on those principles.
that's my point where the American people felt like it's been a fucking failure all these years.
So we're gonna switch the script
So
on.
let's just see what
We're
this.
gonna switch-
Let's just see
yeah,
what this
yeah,
reality
yeah,
star
yeah,
has to
yeah,
offer.
Yep,
Because
yep.
what else is there?
Yep.
They're in desperate times.
Call for desperate measures.
So now they're like, let's just see what else. Well, how much worse could it get?
This shit is lovely right here. Tito's vodka, son.
With that being said,
Remy, why aren't you drinking,
I'll be
Remy?
right back.
I'm high as shit.
It's your preference. It's American.
And I'm chilling.
Oh, good. Oh, wait, you were smoking before, right?
I took a hit or two, yes.
I'm jealous.
Yeah,
So,
and I'm trying to cool on drinking. I'm trying to drink less.
listen, if I could smoke, I wouldn't be drinking at all right now.
If you could smoke?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you like,
I'm trying to get a city job.
yeah, so you like no cigarettes, no nothing?
No. If I couldn't have cigarettes, I'd kill people. It's just, you know me well.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. You're back.
And I'm left all by myself. I am left all by myself. My friends, let me tell you something. I feel optimistic. I feel hopeful. Hopefully, while these two lovely people are chilling, um, I'm hoping that the nation can heal. Now, I can't tell you exactly how. You know, each person has to figure it out for their own self. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm gonna heal with like, you know, boom bap. You know what I'm saying? That's how I heal. But my guests done escaped. Nature calls, you know. I got Jamie Zeno in the building. I got Remy in the building. What up? My guests have escaped and one has come back. Remy, I'm so happy you're high. Get high for both of us, please. Please, please.
No, I'm done. I'm running on E, so I gotta spread it thin.
You gotta spread it thin. Well, listen, blaze up right
Or I
here.
have been spreading it thin. Excuse me, I have been spreading it thin. I'm like trying to make it last till I get my next pickup.
Take a little head farming. Take a little head farming so I can see now. You know, we are 420 friendly except for in the actual studio, which is, you know some funny shit. Bring it back to some music shit.
Mm-hmm.
I know this girl who's an organizer of this really dope motorcycle event called Maniac Mondays. She runs her own radio station. Shout out to Jazz Blaze, No Filter Radio, and Mark Blunatic. You know what I'm saying? And she, I was chilling with her, and I was like, "Yo, do you listen to Sean Price at all?" She goes, "Yeah, I know. I know his brother Stuck B." I was like, "Word, that's crazy." She's like, "Yo, you should get him on the podcast and shit." I was like, "Yo, that'd be great. That'd be some dope shit." She goes, "I'm gonna call him right now."
Oh, nice.
She called him, and the minute he picked up, he was sitting there rolling the blunt, right? And he looks exactly like his brother. He looks like Sean Price, the double. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you not your own person, Stuck B. Don't get me wrong now. But like, you look like your brother. And he was like, "Yo, is that Studio 420 friendly?" And Jess was like, "Yeah. And I'm like, no.
No.
You're gonna have to take a walk around the block, son.
Yeah, damn.
You know, I'm not there yet. I'm gonna get there. Let me wait till I get my money right.
Exactly.
You know
Exactly.
but like,
do you want to talk about what the job is that you're trying to get, or you want to keep that
no, not at
off
all.
this?
As for work, in general, as my career, I'm a mechanic, and I'm trying to get into the New York State as a mechanic for New York State, whichever department, it doesn't even matter. And
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Like ambulances, sanitation, fire department. They all need mechanics. You know.
That's cool.
Whatever city.
Yeah. And
job.
I've actually been interested in working on cars. If you want to, let me be your apprentice. I've been very curious about like.
Here we go.
Good Lord, anytime.
He's a good tutor.
Yeah, like I've been driving for 15 years, and like, yeah, when did I get my license? So 17 when I got my license. Huh?
It's scary not to know what's under the hood, right?
It's not that I don't know. It's more that like I want more like a formal learning of like what to do, because like since I was, so I learned how to change a tire when I was like 18 or 19, something like that.
Nice. That's very important.
How old were you when you got your license, though?
I was 17, 18.
That's beautiful, then.
Something like that.
Not to cut
but
you
yeah,
off,
so I learned how to change a tire like relatively soon.
I have two daughters. I have two daughters, and before they're able to drive, my goal is to make sure they know how to change a tire.
Yeah.
Before they're in that car by themselves on the road.
Absolutely right.
I don't want them waiting for no fucking man to pull up, and you know what I mean. Like, you need to know how to change your own damn tire.
It's a beautiful thing. I mean, I've had it happen a couple times where I've needed to do so, and the amount of and like it's a very funny thing when I'm at a gas station off the exit for Dykeman, and these two guys are coming out the gas station. They like stop and they're like staring at me and they're like, "Do you want help?" And I'm like, with a smile on my face, like, "No, I got it." And I honestly, it wasn't like it was a nice day out. It wasn't raining, thank God. It was like sunny and like fucking like 85 degrees, so it was just like ideal situation for changing a tire. But like, I was just very happy to know how to do so. That like, trust me, it could have been real bad. It could have been real shitty.
Right.
But yeah, just to be able to like do that was like amazing.
I would love to.
Like, hey yo, ma, let me change that tire for you. Because you know what's happening.
Or there was like,
man, stop playing. You know, hey yo, ma, what's up? Yo, let me change that tire. You said, hell?
Like I already have the tire.
They
off
might
the
not
car.
even
Like,
know how to change a fucking tire, bro. They might not even know how to change that shit. They're just trying to get that
That's
in.
it.
They're just trying to get that in.
Or there was like, I used to have a Volkswagen.
Wait, Dykeman, and there's a rhyme that just comes up with it, and I can't.
Dykeman.
Yeah, I like it's so inappropriate, but like, should I do it? Should I do it?
Oh, I'm in.
Bad bitch from Dykeman, telling me she don't like men.
Oh.
But give me a minute, and I'm gonna knock that pussy out like I'm Tyson.
Oh man.
It wasn't me. This
Bars.
is not me. This is not me. This is not me.
And he said, all it takes is a minute.
Yeah.
All it takes is 1 minute.
Just give me a minute.
Yeah. That's it.
Just because I heard Dykeman.
But you know also.
It's totally irrelevant.
But you know also. Let me spit
in my
some
head.
bars.
I was like, I'm like this whole time.
Let me spit a quick bar.
Bars. You know bars.
I know what a bar. It's not even a bar.
Bars.
Right. Right. Let me just spit some in rebuttal to that.
Talk to me.
Let me be devil's advocate.
Oh boy.
The late and great, or the great Missy Elliott once said, "Break me off, show me what you got, 'cause I don't want no 1 minute."
No 1 minute.
So she gonna need more than a minute to get her situated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta need a little more time than that.
Listen,
but
like I said, that rhyme was just in my head, and I heard Dykeman.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Nah, that's cool. I fuck with Dykeman.
No, but yeah, besides like the changes of the tire, I had this I had a Volkswagen Passat that I was driving, and there was a hole, I think, in like the oil tank, and I used to do like really long road trips for tennis tournaments and stuff, like driving like 10, 12 hours, like South Carolina and like all over the place. And yeah, and I would have to like every time I went to like a rest area, I would like take a little stick, check the oil, like do the whole thing.
You to learn how to check the oil level.
Hey, there
yes.
you go.
Yeah,
that's another.
That's
another checklist. That's another.
Honestly,
checklist.
if I don't have to go into the engine, like one thing I want to be more consistent at doing myself is changing the windshield wipers and the filters, the air filters. But other than that, like I haven't been able to get into the engine yet. I'm like scared.
The daily routine maintenance. And that's what I'm gonna still on my daughters. You know, you gotta learn how to fucking change a windshield wiper.
I would love
snap that shit on. You know what I mean? Like,
I would love nothing more than the tutor Novi. I will give you the 101s, and then I will tutor your daughters.
But like just off of what Navi's saying right now, right?
The most important stuff.
Just what she's saying right now, like you could pull over and you could check your engine, your oil, right? You
the oil,
the
yeah.
fucking dipstick, you wipe it off, and you put it back in, and you see where the level's at.
Yes.
And you know, all right, so I'm only gonna pour in a little bit, and then let me check it again. It's just basics. It's basics.
Yeah.
Which the average
person
should
how
know.
many people
No,
neglect basics.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not about that. My daughters are gonna learn. You know what I mean?
And warn them. Tell them this story. If they don't believe you, tell them that one time you knew this girl, aka myself, who drove to Boston. Who drove to Boston with a check engine light on, right? And didn't think anything of it. 4 hours later, driving like fucking like 70 miles per hour all the way to Boston. It's like 9 o'clock at night, so I'm like gunning it. I'm up there. I park my car. Then I drive my car around. We go to buy hookahs. We go shop. We do like whatever shit around the city. And then my car starts doing some like vibrating, shaking shit. And then the lights in the dashboard start flashing, right?
So
I'm like, oh my God.
Start flashing?
everything in the dashboard is whatever lights I had under the dashboard was just like checking out, like short circuiting.
Okay.
So the car starts like, and then I have no control of the wheel anymore. Everything locks up, the brake, everything fucking stops.
Alternator.
So everything stops. So I call AAA. They pick me up. It was me and my friend. So they pick us up. They take us to her apartment building, which had a garage like literally right next to the building. Wow. So I was like, yeah, just drop my car right here. So they bring it to the garage. So I go to the guy the next day and I'm like, yo, so like, what's going on? He was like, so your car was running on no oil. And I was like, oh, okay.
But your engine wasn't blown.
And he's like, and he was like, he said you need to replace the engine.
Oh, so you blew the engine.
No.
I was like, no. And they were like, the battery is fine. We checked everything. Everything else is fine. The engine is done though. So I was like, okay, so what do I do? So they were like, we can go to a junkyard, try to find, like a match, whatever.
Right.
And the guy was like, it's going to cost you like, he was like, after labor and everything, it's going to be about $2,500.
Damn, that's what I was going
to
say.
And I was like, fuck me. So I had to get a rent-a-car, drive back to New York because I had to work that week. Worked the Monday through Friday, drove back to Boston the next week to pick up my car. Oh, tell them if they want to lose all their money in one go.
That's how you do it.
Well,
that's how you do it.
Guess what? As a person of experience on this, 99.9% of vehicle failures are related to lack of fluid maintenance. Period.
Right. Just the simple shit that you can check. And now
just refill.
How much does it take?
Not even refill. Let me tell you something. When people say, no. Like, you're right, but you're wrong at the same time.
All right, here comes the mechanic. Let's go.
Right. Because
here come the facts.
Here come the facts. Let me tell you something. If you need to fill up your oil every week,
yeah, it's a problem.
My guy,
that's a problem.
Girl,
yeah.
Go get that shit checked.
Fixed. Yeah.
Because if your shit ain't leaking, it's burning.
It's burning it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a decision to make already. At least if you know, for instance, if it's leaking, bless your heart, it could be fixed.
Let's not get too deep.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not gonna get too deep. But I'm saying, like, if it's leaking, it could be fixed. If it's burning, then all right, then you got a decision to make. I'm gonna keep filling this bitch every 3 days.
If you could afford it.
I'm gonna keep filling it with oil every 3 days.
If you could afford it,
and I'm gonna keep it running.
If you could afford it, you could fix it. But
if
not, just keep fucking maintaining it.
And I'm talking about every 3 days.
Right.
Then you'll be good. As long as that motor is full on oil, I don't give a shit if the piston rings are burning through, because that's what happens. It's called gas blowout.
But the point is this.
There's oil getting into the combustion chambers and it's burning up what you get.
My daughters ain't gonna learn about the combustion chambers. And a gas
Your daughters are going to learn about what the battery is,
I want them to
know how to change a tire, how to change wiper blades, how to fill up wiper fluid, how to check for proper levels of antifreeze, how to fill them up, and what the fill lines are. Those are the basics.
Yeah.
If you maintain that standard, Daddy will help you.
Most of the times, they'll be
Daddy will help you. But if you neglect that shit, you're going to learn for a little bit.
Yeah. But I'm also going to teach them that if your oil is low...
Well, that's the main point of it, you know?
If your oil is low every week, let Daddy know.
That's it. Let me know.
Let Daddy know. Say, Daddy, I got to put a quart of oil in this thing every week.
What's going on? But as long as they know... As long as they know those basics...
Yeah.
Those
Tyler's in the building. What up, Tyler?
Oh, shit. Ty guy to God.
You know? But it's like the basics need to be known, and
it's simple.
I would like, for a minute there, I thought about taking a second job. I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about going to like Lincoln Tech and them and just teaching. You know,
that's dope. That's dope. Do it.
Why not?
Why not? Because I'd love to have a life.
No, what life you got, bro? Go do that shit.
But I was thinking about it, really and truly, teaching the one-on-ones, like maintenance or something like that.
No, it's beautiful.
I don't see why not.
Why? Yo, come on, Ram. Let them know. Let's go.
Why would you not do that?
Let's do it.
I drink.
What are you waiting
like,
for?
how much of your time would it really take up, though? Like,
I don't know.
that you're worried that it'll take your life.
I don't know how they're scheduled. I don't know how that works.
Well, you got to figure it out, but it might take this night. Right now, we might not be able to do this podcast.
This is my problem. I would prefer
this
podcast.
I'm saying that's light, though, bro.
I would prefer this podcast. If it was between this podcast and teaching somebody about cars, fuck them.
No,
I want to do.
But you know what
podcast.
though?
Well,
That's good for the
that's what he's saying is like what you doing like as a general. What are you doing now on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like on a general, just regular night? Like,
we could
how much time do you not have?
We could reschedule the show for the day you have off from teaching. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was just I was fucking with you on that. You know,
Tyler said check your blinker fluid. You also got to check your muffler bearings.
Yo, but you know what though?
And then you also got to top off.
That's getting like
hold on. Fuel.
Let me say this.
You guys don't know about sailboat fuel.
Let me say this. I actually do know about boats. I live off a lake. You know that.
Yeah, what's sailboat fuel then?
Sailboat fuel is the fucking if you want to get technical, right? Every mechanical pivotal thing that's moving needs some kind of oil. It needs some kind of oil.
What is sailboat fuel?
There's no sailboat
I don't fucking
fuel,
know. What do you mean? Don't tell him. How the hell would I know?
There's no sailboat fuel technically, but there are.
What is sailboat fuel?
Bro, I don't know, but I'm saying like if I had to be like on some kind
guys,
of knowledge.
come on, man, guys.
Oh, wait,
I gotta love you. But
yo, we're not mechanics.
Get together and figure this out right now. What is sailboat?
I don't give a shit. I don't know what the fuck.
Nobody cares.
Yo, sailboat. What is the fuel for a sailboat?
The fucking
gas.
Wind. The wind. The wind. So now look.
Oh, sailboat.
Now hold on. Let's get back.
Fuel.
Let's get back to off your hypotheticals here, right?
There are no hypotheticals.
Let's get back to your hypothetical,
right?
No, that was a fucking riddle.
I gave y'all a literal right there.
That was a riddle, Riddler. Look, bro. What I want to say is this. Look, hold on.
No, I got these guys.
Look. No, that's a joker. That's a joker. You see, y'all be flip flopping. Look.
Y'all don't bring her into this.
No, I'm saying y'all. You in a personable, personality sense.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You and the Joker. So look, on some real shit. It's not a gender fucking thing when it comes down to maintaining and knowing the knowledge of.
I've seen plenty of guys who have no idea.
You know what I'm saying? Because when I started driving at the age of 18, I didn't know shit like that.
Of course not.
I had to learn by trial and error. I had to learn because my car broke down and I had to figure that shit out. And the mechanic that I knew, it was a good friend of mine, just so happened to put me on, and he wasn't trying to rape me for my fucking my bread. You know what I mean? So I had to learn how to check my fucking fluids and shit. My daddy wasn't there. Like Austin Powers shit. You know what I mean? You ever see that shit?
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Do you know what made me want to fix cars? Legitimately, is I used to race cars before I fixed them. Right?
I didn't have that opportunity.
I did. And I had my car built by a facility that I raced for. And the car was beautiful, fast, lovely, Fast and the Furious type shit.
Tell me about it.
1992 Toyota MR2 converted to twin turbo, pushing 434 horsepower to the wheels.
Just might as well say it in Russian.
With about 3 people.
Say it in Russian.
3 people could
weigh.
People could lift the side of this car up.
All right.
It was light and powerful.
So what?
Having said that, I remember there was a race that I was gonna do, and usually before you do a race, you do, people, before you throw down thousands of dollars, you want to see what the other guys got under the hood, so you can kind of make an assertion like, can I take this guy or can I not?
Well, of course we put money on that.
Right, exactly. And this is heavy as it's thousands of dollars.
These are people who know how to change their blinker fluid.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
And their sailboat fuel.
Sailboat fuel.
They know how to change sailboat fuel and their blinker fluid.
Yep. Sailboat fuel is.
Alright.
Just so you know.
So he's talking advanced shit right now, people.
So, having said that, I remember dude looking at my engine and like, alright, I'm gonna tell you right now in a second, and he walked away. I already knew by the statistics that I had, that they told me that I had, that's what I had. And then some boy came up and started looking at this shit, and he was like, yo, son, you got a fucking T3, T4, and this and this and this. You describing my motor with some detail and shit. I had no fuck idea what he's talking about. And I felt embarrassed. Now, that didn't make me any less of a race car driver, because they're two different things. They're two different things, right? I wound up spanking son that night, you know, but
like on some fucking
abusive car lengths type shit. Like I banged him out hard, and he had to pay that bread. But what I'm saying is that night really got me thinking. I have no idea what is under the hood of this car, and I trust my life to this unit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
some shit fails, you're dead.
Like, some shit fails, I'm straight dead. Because so this car is this big and has this much power. And this engine is behind me. Like oh, this shit, you know, I have no idea. And it really got me thinking. And that's when I started saving up that race money to go to school, and I've decided to follow my dream completely. And I went into that business.
That's what's up.
You know, and sometimes I wish that, you know, I became a doctor or a lawyer and shit and made that real bread, to be real with y'all. Well, sometimes following your dream don't pay. But I gotta tell you, what it did give me is I got hands.
So go teach.
I got hands.
So go spread that knowledge.
And this is what
and make money off.
This is what I've been thinking about.
Go spread that knowledge and make money off of it. What you've gained over you know the years that you were able to.
Because it's crazy now. I look back.
You had that opportunity.
Like I have 15 years in this business,
and
it's insane.
Because look,
like I'm fucking old.
When you come out of college with a fucking education and a degree, they want experience.
Yeah.
Right. So you got 15 years of experience.
Got it.
Go capitalize off that.
I'm trying to, you know, I was trying to see how, you know. And
that's how. You go teach a few night courses.
But you know the scary part is,
I've always heard.
I've heard this thing that that says that those who cannot do teach.
Mm-hmm.
That line fucks with my head.
You have to get over that shit.
So, here's the thing: be careful with some of those quotes that you read, because some of them are not. That's not the full thing.
Right.
Tell me.
Like, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's the full quote, but I learned this recently. Not recently, like maybe like 2 years ago. But basically, like there was this person that I was friends with, and he was throwing he's like, you know, the quotes like, you know, blood is thicker than water, and I'm like, yeah. But he's like, that's not the full thing, and he started to recite the full thing to me. And basically, what it translates to is not that your family is, you know, the more important than your friends, but there's like a chosen family, like part to it or something. So when you see stuff like that, don't take that wholeheartedly is what I'm saying, because there could be another part to it that isn't as populated as just that part. So don't take quotes like that and think like, oh, this is it. Like, not really.
100%.
See, look at the whole thing. Look at the whole thing.
Interpret and apply that philosophy to your life. If you live that philosophy wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Like, what did you just say? Tell me again, and I'll look it up. I'll see if that's the full thing.
Those who cannot do, teach.
Those who cannot do.
You know what?
Teach.
Like, while we were talking about our politics and shit, one of the biggest problems in this nation that we're so subjected to is education.
Our education system is
fucked. Because what we teach in our education system is.
That's what makes me want to give.
It's something that fucking bothers me so much, bro. Right? Because everyone's not gonna learn the same way. You can't teach a fish. And here we go. You can look up this.
No, hold on. Literally.
You can't.
No, I think the fish one is. I think that's. I think the fish one is like.
Yeah. Teach a man to fish.
No, that's another one. But you could feed a man a fish.
Yeah, and you can give fed for a day, or but you teach a man to fish, you keep him fed for a lifetime.
Right, yes, but what I'm saying is this: you can't judge a fish off of climbing a tree. You know what I mean?
If a fish can't. I know that.
No, it's simple. That's it. And that might not be the exact one you heard.
I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Because look, a cat could climb a tree way better, but how the fuck is getting down?
Yeah, but can a cat do well in the water?
No. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So it can't be a fish.
But even with the tree,
You know what I'm saying?
But even with the tree, the cat could climb up the tree.
I think it's something along the parts of if a fish cannot climb a tree,
I'm
does
not
that
getting
mean
so
he's
literal.
inept?
Right. No, but he could swim good as fuck. You understand me? So we don't all learn the same. And that's a problem. That they expect us, whoever they are, you know, because they...
Listen, you and Remy need to figure out this thing she's looking up. I'm gonna go.
All right.
I'm gonna suck down a cigarette because I'm a drug addict and I need drugs.
And we all have our advice.
I was about to read you the thing, dude.
Oh, read it. Read it.
So I got the quote. The quote itself is full, but I'm gonna give you the breakdown of it. So,
Okay.
what does it mean for those who can? As an independent verb, to know or have learned a thing, to have practical knowledge of a language, art, etc. To can by heart. To know by heart, to can one's good, to know what is good for one. Shaw, in this eloquent verbiage, is suggesting that teachers are those that do not know or have not learned their discipline. They are the embodiment of the failed artist that we would read about in Dickinson novels, who would precariously balance above the breadline through the only apparent outlet available to them, teachings, as they had failed in their field. So basically, that quote is literally what it says.
Exactly what I just said about our education system. That's exactly what I just said about our education system.
Because to me that was like half of that was French. How do you interpret it?
Really? No. That was straight up.
I need that put into like stupid people.
No, I think it literally says what it says. Yes. Like means what it says.
Yes, that was straightforward. That was
pretty straight up.
Failed artists.
No. As far as
because that's what I heard. I heard failed artists.
An artist interprets their feelings.
Yeah.
A teacher interprets what they've been taught to teach. You understand?
No.
Balance above the breadline through all apparent outlet available to them, teaching as they have failed in their field. So basically, I think what it's saying is that, the embodiment of the failed artist.
A teacher who has been taught to teach.
Has been taught to teach. Okay, it's a key word there.
And that's it.
So I think what this is saying is that I think the term artist is just saying the person who is a specialist in whatever field that they're in. Right. So it could be as well as a tennis player, as well as a mechanic. I think what they're saying is that if you failed at whatever dream you might have had, that is just an opportunity to teach. So it's just saying that, like, you literally, like, if you cannot do, you teach. Like, you literally failed at what you tried to do, but you know.
At what you mastered.
So so it's like you would precariously. So I think it's meaning like you would have a coach that, like, maybe like me being like, I had a dream as like a professional athlete, like I would coach somebody with the idea of like hoping that they're fulfilling whatever dream they might have or goal they might have, versus myself who did not get a chance to do that, but I'm living through them in that degree.
Well, as a teacher, because Novi was a teacher for a minute with this.
I've been teaching for a while, yeah.
Is how fulfilling is that experience when they?
It depends on how you.
No, I'm asking her though. Nah, it's a person. It's a deeply personal thing. I'm asking her.
No, it depends, honestly, because it all comes from experience. I think, at least in my case, I think it's all about previous experience, because when I played and competed, I loved playing and competing, but I also had a very funky relationship with my coach, as far as I was, when you watch those movies about like athletes who are like training 7 days a week and 5 hours a day, like that was literally me. Like that was me all the time. Like, like that was the goal, was to go professional.
Was deep on the court.
And like she said before, there's some people who want to do it for, for entertainment purposes.
No, do it for fun. But as far as the teaching is concerned,
recreational.
When I played and I competed and stuff like that, I developed a very strange relationship with the sport as well, because it was one of those things that, like, as a teenager, I'm like, oh, I want to go to parties and I want to date and I want to do this. But because I was so consumed about this one thing, I had a career at 13. Like, this was like my life, like from a very, very young age.
That's a strange thing to have.
That's
it's hard.
And that's passion for what you love.
There's passion for what you love, but again, my particular situation, it's one of those things where I don't know if you had this growing up at all in any aspect or any similarity, but
I understand
where I'm coming from is like, you ever, like, I'm trying to think of a good example. So shit, there's a show on Netflix. What is it fucking called? It's about it's a British show, and it's about these kids who are like juniors or seniors and like juniors in high school or whatever, and it's now they're getting on to the point of like losing virginity and like having a prom date, and this person is cheating, and that nude text, you know, like whatever shit is happening at that point in your life as a teenager. So there was a kid in the show who was a swimmer, and he was like the best swimmer on his team, like hands down, no questions asked, like being recruited by the top colleges and things like that. And he had one mom that was a little bit more like, oh, you know, like let's go shopping, not let's go shopping, but like let's have dinner tonight or join me for breakfast. And there was one mom that was like, no, you can't have that bagel because it's too many calories. Like she was like crazy about it. And he had to train a lot. And what he did was he got to the point where he was in the gym, and there was an opening where he saw that the weight was about to go down, and he put his hand in the weight, and it crushed his hand. Not crushed it, but it like hurt his hand, you know? Yeah. So he couldn't swim, he couldn't do anything. Now, mind you, this is a TV show, this is dramatics, but you really feel that way sometimes when you're really in a really fucked up position. So passion is one thing, but when you're like, let me give you an example of a time. So there was one time I played a match, and this is the coaching situation that I was in as a kid. Now my relationship with my coach and it's very different, but at the time he was fucking crazy. He's also Romanian, so he's insane. So there was a time when I had a match, and no, he's nuts.
But they know the deal.
No, he's nuts. So because he liked to assert his dominance and like I know what I'm doing and I have the right answer for you in all the ways. Basically, there was one time I played a match and I lost. It was, I don't know, I guess it was because it was somebody that I should have beaten or whatever the case was, and I lost this person. And it was at like maybe 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and we got home and I had to practice against the wall with like there's like a spotlight on the garage at my house, my parents' house, and I would have to like practice against the wall. Mind you, I'm like dead tired. I feel defeated. I'm like depressed. I'm like in just mental, just fucked up. And I'm like hitting against this wall at like 10:30 o'clock at night. Then there would be times when like I would like lose a match, and the next practice in the first like 2 minutes, fucking right away, like you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're this, you're that, like just fucking just breaking down constantly. So there's a passion aspect for sure, but then there's also a heavy burnout aspect that you have to find a balance between and try to get that burnout to not override the passion. I felt a heavy deal with burnout. So when I decided to stop playing, I wanted to take a break, but again, dramatics and stuff like that, I had to start teaching or else I didn't have means of like a job and like getting things that I wanted. So I started coaching right away. I took it not seriously at all because this was my opportunity I'm like, now I'm in my early 20s and I'm like, yo, I have to catch up in all the ways.
You looked at it like a job.
This is the time I see Novi as the rapper in the booth.
Oh man, this is when I was just like, yo, I need to live my best life. I like bought my DJ equipment right away.
I love
like, I gotta get into it. Gotta get into it.
That was the PA days. That was right there.
The PA days.
Jamie knows very well.
I want to hear this because I feel because although you had that passion and
my friends, I love you. Keep talking.
Do you think? Because I'm fucking with this right now.
Please keep this topic.
I'm fucking with this right now because although you had that passion, you know you were pushed and
sometimes you get like pushed like too much. But yeah, so when I decided to start coaching, like I was like, okay, I enjoy this so much. So when when you ask about as far as like was there gratification, or what Boris asked about if there's like, do I feel good about teaching and after lessons, there was a time when like just after stop playing and I started coaching where again I didn't take it seriously for the first few years. Fine, whatever, because my schedule was literally like I would wake up at 12 in the afternoon. I would start work at 3:30. I would teach till about 7:30, 8:30, depending on the day. I would go home. I would get dressed, change, shower, whatever, get dressed. Text my friend around like 10 o'clock, be like, yo, so we out? Friend text back by 10:15, yo, where's the spot? Where we going? Like we meet up around 11. So that was my routine 3 to 4 nights out of the week.
That was your means of just living.
Bro, and I was working 5 days a week. I was working like I think it was like 6 days or 6 days a week, whatever. I was just living the best life. And again, this is me like trying to catch up and find my freedom that I didn't have for all of 10 years.
But I will say it's great that you were able to do something that you love to do for
I
your
don't
own
regret it.
purpose, your
I
own
don't regret it.
purposes?
There are certain things that I wish I could have also done, but in this sense, it's like I had a
Yeah,
very unique
always looking back.
life.
Always looking back, you
Hmm.
could always say, I could have done this, I could have done that. But in that time, it's something that like I admire so much because I never took any sports serious where I was passionate
Hmm.
about sports. I love sports. I could have done
Oh yeah,
I could have excelled
it.
in football, basketball, or baseball, and those were my passions. And I played them in the streets after I stopped, And I never played them on, a school team or
Yeah.
And when I look at that, I'm like, I admire that so much that you had that dedication to go
I
and
mean,
show up to
I was definitely
matches.
very lucky to have a lot
That's
of
beautiful,
that opportunity to do things like that.
right?
Honestly, like, cause like there were people. So during those 10 years that I played, there was a lot of anger. There was a lot of, excuse me, there was a lot of tears. There was a lot of, I want to quit. There was a lot
Right,
of that.
right.
But there
So
was also a
emotional
lot
roller
of
coaster,
like really interesting people that I met and really like
right?
cool conversation and
Of course.
really fucking incredible places that I got to visit and stories that I heard. So like for me, I take experiences.
Oh,
I
me
love
too.
a beautiful
All day.
experience and I love a good story.
Me too.
So like it's like like there was a not even to get into like anything crazy, but there was a trip I took to
Let's get into
Venezuela.
it.
I was 19
Let's get into it.
and I went to Venezuela for a tournament for a week. I'm gonna give you like the short version of this
Wow,
because
that's first of all,
it's
that's
just fucking wild.
awesome. That's awesome that you're traveling to another country to do what you love to do.
Right, right. Like opportunities. And it's just like things like
Yeah.
that you don't always get to experience. And however it might come
Right.
about,
Right.
you take away from it, the good stuff. So like this trip, right?
That's a
Like
huge
I went
opportunity.
for a week. I went from Friday to Friday. First day I arrived, luggage lost in Houston because I had a connecting flight from New York to Houston to Venezuela.
Wow.
Luggage that I checked on the flight, all left in Houston, right? I had a carry-on, I had my book, I had my laptop.
Right.
And at the time, this is when people were carrying like computers and shit. So I had a laptop, I had a change of clothes, and I had like toiletries.
Mm-hmm.
Get to the hotel, check in, everything's all good. I'm like, okay, next day I'm gonna go to the tennis place, see what I can work out. I go to the tennis place, the shop is closed, so I couldn't get a racket, couldn't get any sneakers or nothing. I had a match in like 3 days, 2 days maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
So I meet this random guy. I'm like, "Tu habla español?" He's like, or
Oh
"Tu habla
shit.
inglés?" And he's like, "No, I speak English." Like, so I'm like, "Okay, can you
Okay.
please help me call the airport to like, see what's up with my luggage?" So he calls them for me. Still not there. Still sorry.
That
Still
was
in
quick.
Houston. Still in Houston. So I'm like, "Fuck." So
Fast.
he's like, "I can help you. I can take you
Because I'm interested.
shopping. I can take you to my home." Like, so his English, like he spoke English, but it was like
Right.
not fully structured sentences. So
But
he's
it's
just pretty much trying to get his point across. And what it sounds like to me is like,
You
I can
do
take
know
you with me,
this.
like that.
You do know
So
this.
I had like a fuck. I was 19. This is 12 years ago. So I had a
right.
phone that had like a slide up like keyboard and shit.
I remember.
So I had like
Shit.
not a real phone.
I remember.
Call
Well,
my
you had a phone.
text
You
my
generally
mom.
you had a phone.
I had a phone. I text my mom. I was like, listen, I met this man. I'm gonna go with him. She was like, be careful, like all this stuff. So
You was there by
believe it or
yourself?
not, I was by myself.
Oh shit.
So believe it, I don't know what it is. I just went with my gut. I was like, this man seems like he's very sincere, very genuine.
You feel
Like
that shit. Yeah.
he seems like he's hearing my situation. He's like dead ass about like helping me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go and God forbid, I'm gonna kick and scream and whatever. So I go with this man and we pull it to this. We're driving through the streets, whatever. There's houses everywhere, so nothing's secluded. We get it to this gate. He talks to this guy that's like a security guard. The guy opens up this huge gate. Mind you, we're in the capital, right, Dad? We're in the capital of Venezuela, Caracas, right? So like
Right.
it is like one of the most dangerous cities in the world, if not at the time was like top of the list of like dangerous cities.
Right.
I didn't know that. My parents didn't know that. Whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
traveling
on
by
the
myself.
verge.
I'm 19,
Venezuela.
not a big deal.
That time Venezuela was
Um,
on the verge of being a real dangerous city.
and now look in
Dangerous
Venezuela now is like
country.
just
Yeah.
God.
We don't know. It was
Um,
on the verge of
right. So
being
like yeah, so like I meet this man, he takes me, we go through this gated community and it's like where his house is. So it's like all these houses. We get to his house, all these little dogs come running out. We get inside his house, his wife is in the kitchen cooking food. His 13-year-old daughter's in the kitchen. His 15-year-old daughter comes down and is like, oh, she speaks perfect English. Right. She's So, like like, translating yeah, so, like, shit. I They're meet like, this oh, man, do you want to yeah, call and your now mom? I was like, you're gonna let me call America from your house phone? They were like, oh yeah, no problem. Let her know that you're safe. I was like, I hit the motherfucking jackpot. These people were like angels. They like helped take care of me. They like took me shopping. They took me to like a Walmart kind of thing. So they were like, okay, we're gonna, you know, pick out some shirts, pick out some shorts, and I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna need like, you know, 2, 3 shirts. I grabbed like some shorts, some socks, underwear, the whole thing. I go to the register, I pull out my wallet. The guy was like, no, I'm gonna pay for it. I was like, but what do you mean? He was like, you lost all your stuff. I'm gonna pay for it. And I was like, this is crazy. Then I play the matches, I play the tournament, and I start getting sick now because I forgot that you can't drink the water in South America. And I fucking had the tap water. Got mad sick. I think I had like chicken Caesar salad every day for like 5 days. That was all I knew how to order in Spanish. Then like I fucking at the time that was like all I could remember in Spanish. I was like, high school, come on, come back to me, come back to me. So then it was like the last day that I was there, and I was like, okay, I have to get a flight out of America, out of this country, because like I'm like sick, and I was like, I need to go home. I lost. I like fucking just need to like catch the next flight I can. So I'm in this office where they like do like they have like the tournament directors and stuff like that. So I'm like talking to the referee, and they're like, well, the tournament director went home already, so there's no way to get the money to you, and blah blah blah. So there's this man in like the other room. I guess he like knew the people that worked there. And he comes out, he's like in like a suit or whatever, like he has like no tie on, but he's like in a jacket and shirt. So he's like, he's like, I can hear your story. He has like an accent or whatever, but he's like, I can hear your story. And I was in a similar position you were in many years ago, because the problem that I had was that I needed to book my flight to get out, but I had no money. I had no cash left. So I couldn't pay for a taxi. I had no, what is it? Bolivares, I think the money was. So like I had no cash to like get a taxi or anything like that to the airport. So the guy's like, I heard your story. He's like, I'm going to help you out. So he's like, I have a friend who runs a taxi business. I'm going to have him pick you up to take you to the airport tomorrow. So just make sure that you're ready, and I'll tell him what time and everything. I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. That's so amazing. Like, I appreciate it so much. And then I was explaining, so then you also need like you have to pay like a tax to leave, which is usually like included in your ticket when you're like flying from America to other countries, which I didn't know. Yeah. But apparently there's like a tax you have to pay to leave the country, which is paid separately. Customs, yeah. And I didn't have that. So we were trying to scramble to get all this cash together, and like all the like the referees that were there, they're like, I have $10, I have 20, I have this. And everybody's like trying to get all this money together for me, and then like take my prize money for themselves and split it. So I was like, yeah, whatever, let's do what we gotta do. So I had whatever little money I had. So mind you, I get up the next morning, there's like a black car outside of the fucking tennis federation where I was staying. So there's a black car waiting for me. Get in the car, takes me to the airport. I go to pay him, and he was like, it's been taken care of. Then he hands me a fucking envelope with the tax money to leave the country. I was like, yo. I was like, who has the best travel story? Me.
That's awesome. I'm pissed I missed about half of that.
Like, yeah, it's just.
It was, to sum it up real quick for you, she had an amazing story where she had the opportunity to travel to South America.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Play her sport that she loves to play. And do.
I like had some. It was a wild series of unfortunate but incredibly beautiful events.
The right people to help her get back after playing her sport that she loves to play, right? And get back and be able to tell a story.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Awesome. And like, mind you, let me tell you, when I had the water, like, you know, when you get the flu and you feel like you have your whole body has the shakes, and you're just like, don't ask me to move a motherfucking muscle. Like, when I drank the water, I felt like trash. And it was like, it's interesting because around like September, October-ish, in South America, they have what they call is like the rainy season. And this is like what I'm all learning at the time. I didn't know that, but they have the rainy season, which is like every day around the same time it rains, like pours. Mm-hmm. So my matches were scheduled around like the same time every day. And I was just like, okay, it's going to rain. And I'm like literally in the bed, like fucking shaking, like no one's business. Like, please rain. Let me just find a way to get the energy again. Like I would just try to drink a Gatorade and my body would forget about it for like an hour. Like, just trying to make it through.
That's crazy.
It's just fucking crazy.
I never asked, where'd you grow up?
So I'm from Mount Vernon originally.
All right.
And then I went to Middletown High School. So I was born and raised in Middletown, born and raised in Mount Vernon. I lived there till I was like 11, and then I went to middle school and high school in Middletown.
I know some people in Mount Vernon. I'm not too familiar with Mount Vernon, but I know Middletown. Only because when I moved to PA.
Yeah, because Middletown is so close to PA.
Right. When I moved to PA, there was, you know, the people who was there, like my man Pete. Yeah, you know who Pete is. We're gonna get into that. But,
no.
But at that point, Pete was good people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was from Middletown, and
Pete.
Yeah, bro. And he took me to Middletown from PA, and I got to know Middletown, and I was like, oh shit, okay. That was upstate to me as far as I was concerned.
Yeah.
Before I moved to PA.
That's upstate for everybody.
You know what I mean? So I was like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, I'm from New York. I was like, oh, where you from? He's like, Middletown. I was like, what the fuck is Middletown? Not
listen,
like that.
let me
not
tell
like
you.
That. Not like that, for real. But I was just like, for real though, like, I'm an ignorant, New Yorker.
Right.
No, but that's okay. But no, I mean, a lot of people don't know it unless they like know somebody who's from there or they go there themselves. Like, they're not just gonna hear about it. Like,
I experienced that shit. I was like, yo, they got some culture here. You know what I mean? Because it's
Middletown is popping.
It's
like
an hour from the city, so people.
It's so weird. Middletown is so popping. It's bizarre.
From all spots of the city and move to Middletown and have a better life. You know what I mean? So it's like a step forward from the city. It's a better living situation in the city, but they're still from the city.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're well enough endowed to be able to have a fucking vacation house in the Poconos. And I'm like, I love that shit. Now as a grown man, I understand it.
It's crazy. That's how. How I met.
Still can't afford it. But
so how I met Boris was because like we had a mutual friend that I used to train and play tennis with. So he knew this girl that I used to drive from Middletown to go hang out with her and like train and practice with her, whatever bullshit. Go to his place and like chill in the studio. But like there were times when like it was her birthday one year, and I had practice or some shit like in the evening, and I forget what it is. For some reason I couldn't stay at her house that night. It was like maybe like a Thursday night or something wild. And she was like, "Oh, Remy, I'm having some people coming out for a party. We're gonna have a keg."
Wow.
Mind you, I think she was turning like 18, like some like whatever. But she was like, "Yo, we're gonna have a keg." Like, you remember how she fucking was. So we're gonna have a keg. Remy, you should come through. Like, I want everybody. Yeah, she's like, "Oh, I want everybody to meet my friend from New York." So I was like, "Ah, bitch, now I gotta go." So like it was like 8 o'clock or some shit. So I'm getting ready to go out. So I'm telling my parents, I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to a movie." And this was like her thing was like tell her parents she would go to a movie and she would be like, she'd be good for like 3 hours to like turn up and then have to be home or some shit. So like I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the movie." So like I get in the car and fucking gutted to PA. I think an hour drive took me like 45 minutes to get to her house. At whatever house they were at, whatever. And then I showed face. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're Remy from New York."
You're like, yes.
And I'm like, "That's me," like mad hype about it. And like, and then I was there for maybe like an hour and a half, and then I dipped. So like, I was like, I gotta show up. I'm Remy from New York. I gotta show up.
You gotta represent for New York.
Hell yeah.
I try to represent for New York the best way I could when I had to relocate to PA because the hood was getting real hot.
The only thing I'm angry about in my whole Pennsylvania experience is that me and Breeze didn't link up the way we were supposed to link up.
We linked up just the way we were supposed to because now here we are.
We didn't have the conversations that we were supposed to.
No, but we had it here, and we continued it.
Oh, no question. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The outcome is still mwah.
Look.
But like.
Well, pause.
All right.
Pause.
All right.
Hold up.
All right. I'm gonna stop
Pause.
right there.
No,
I'm gonna stop.
No, I'm fine. Look.
I'm gonna stop.
The thing is, we took the little bit that we had there, the little communications we had there, the little bit of experience we had there, and we continued it. Once you moved back to Brooklyn, right? You moved back here like a year and a half before I started working back here. You was back, you know what I mean? And we both know Brooklyn from different perspectives.
Right.
You know Brooklyn from here, and I know Brooklyn from where I'm from, Brooklyn.
Right.
And in PA, it was like, oh, we're in PA, so we're from Brooklyn, so it don't matter. We relate. Yeah, you know what I mean? Even though Brooklyn is so,
diverse.
Yes. And so when I came back here, I'm like, oh wait, hold up, my man, I gotta come check. He said he's back in Brooklyn. I want to come check him and see how he's living out there. I want to come experience it. And bro, I never experienced nobody on this side of Brooklyn.
The outskirts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, you're not fucking far in Brooklyn. Like every time I gotta go to Boris, I'm like, all right, let me get my lunch.
And
get my waters.
Yo, you know what's crazy? You No, it's crazy. This is far for me from where I'm from, in Brooklyn. But it's not. It's not far at all.
Far at all, son.
It's almost walking distance.
That's a 10-minute drive for me, Scott.
It's a 10-minute drive, and it's like
with traffic lights.
20-minute train ride.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? I'm from the I'm from the end of Brooklyn, and he's like, he's not even out of South Brooklyn yet over here. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not even Midwood. You know what I mean? Like Midwood.
Nah, I ain't Midwood.
You know what I mean? Like you're right here.
I gotta fucking look at.
We ain't gonna put the address
Kings
out there.
Plaza, pops.
We ain't gonna put the addy up so they can slide through.
I mean, Kings Plaza gets mad love, but that shit is far.
Well, yeah, he's right here between Kings Plaza and fucking Marine Park.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that shit is mad far.
I played in Marine Park when I was a kid. I was playing in this fucking park while you was over here.
No shit.
You know what I mean?
No shit.
Always. My father ended up marrying his wife now, and like they've always lived in this area. And whenever I came out here, that's how I got to know this area. But I only knew Coney Island. Right. I knew the fucking 3 avenues and the streets that went vertical. You know what I mean? That's all I know. Right. I didn't stray too far. That's all I know. And you were right here all along. And now we met each other in PA.
Which is crazy.
And we were like, okay, it's Brooklyn either way. I know you're part of Brooklyn. You know my part of Brooklyn. For different reasons. I went and played in the Marine Park because we were trying to get out the hood to play.
You know what's some crazy...
And you know Coney Island because Coney Island, you go to the rides. It was some
crazy shit how we actually met, too.
It is. And we talked about it.
We talked about it before. But, like, I think it's pertinent to real quick bring it up.
Yeah, let's reestablish. Go
ahead. let me do it from my side.
Go ahead. I love to hear this.
I ain't gonna name names.
We don't have to.
You know what I'm saying? I used to have an artist, and we was doing our thing or whatever, and
I knew him.
Yeah,
you knew him.
I didn't know that you knew him.
Right. I knew him and you knew him.
Yeah.
On different circumstances.
Different levels. I didn't know that you knew him at all. So he was like, yo, there's a spot, you know what I'm saying? There's a house party, blah, blah, so on and so forth. And I was like, all right. Me, I'm kind of a reclusive and, you know, dungeness crab and shit. I'll stay in my lab. I don't give a fuck. And he was just like, yo, there's this party. Come chill, you know what I'm saying? Unwind, you know what I'm saying? Da-da-da. I said, all right, let's do it.
You made your way out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, this shit turned out to be somewhere where I had to put like 4-wheel drive on the truck.
In the back roads of Pennsylvania.
To get up in to get up in the driveway, right? And I'm thinking like driving up there, I'm thinking, damn, Scout, I'm gonna be the only motherfucker up in here with these people here.
Yo, you know that fucking
right.
PA.
Right.
Yeah,
but here's the reality. By the time I done crawled up in whatever the fuck the vicinity was, there was like 17 cars there already. I said, shit, this may be something. All right, we came up.
I feel like anytime I went to those parties, there was not yours, because that sounds lit.
Yeah, just wait. There was a main house and there was a big old garage type of thing. And you know, we come up in there, and I was like, I'm telling my peoples, I'm like, I don't know who the fuck, like, y'all know these people, so, like, y'all, you know what I'm saying, acquaint me real quick, otherwise, you know, I might be a little distant, you know what I'm saying? And we come up in there, and Jay was up in there with his peoples, you know what I'm saying?
No.
What do you mean, no?
No.
Go ahead, interject.
When I pulled up, right, I didn't know anybody there either besides the person who drove me there. And that's how I'm gonna leave it at. Right.
No names.
Person who drove me there, and the mutual acquaintance we have. We went there together in 2 separate cars. So the person who brought me there was the one who linked us up, right? And mind you,
no shit.
It was never intentional to like me and you to link.
Right.
He was just inviting me there as well.
Right.
Just like he invited you because he fucked with you. Right? When I got there, you was already there in the garage.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know whose house this was.
Neither did
I was a wild boy.
I was
doing some wild things.
Yeah.
And so
he was. He
when
really was.
when I pulled up with the people who brought me there, I drove there, and well, I didn't drive because I was not in a state of mind to drive.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But when I got there, you were there, and there was beats on, and you guys were rapping.
Oh shit!
I won't ever forget this shit. And so now me, in my fucking egotistic ways, I'm a rapper, and I run this whole area, but I've never been there. Yeah. I run this whole area. You know, it's some stupid shit. You know, young and dumb shit. But hey, I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so
this is
I pull up. And I'm like, who the fuck are anyone here that I don't know? I don't know any of these people. You know, and they don't know me. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? But I'm always up for meeting new friends, if you will. Not really, but real. I was hating on this motherfucker. Let me just say that. Let me just say that. And he had to prove a fucking thing or two to me. Because they're playing beats. I'm like, okay, that beat's alright, but what you rapping about? Okay, he's rapping about
What do you
shit,
have to say?
But he's rapping about some shit. So I'm like, damn, I can't even hate. I can't do what I do best on unknowns right now. You know what I mean? And so I gotta give this motherfucker his props.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a hard thing, a hard pill to swallow. You know what I mean?
Listen, let me tell you, when I first went to fucking Boris's house in the studio and shit, like, and my friend was like, "Oh, we're gonna go hang out with my friend. He's a rapper," and I was like, "Yo, we're in the middle of fucking.
Yep.
Where are we even, dude? Like, I know we're in PA. That's as far as I could tell you, but I don't know where the fuck we at." And she's like, "Oh, but we're gonna no, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool." So I was like, "All right, whatever. Like, you've been taking me all over the place. I'm down for whatever." And we fucking get up there, and the first beat that he plays, I was like, in my mind, I didn't say this out loud, but in my mind, I was like, play another one, because I gotta see if he's legit.
Yeah. Okay, I see you, but
and
what
then,
else you got?
And then he starts playing like a couple beats back to back, and I was like, okay, so he's like, he makes good beats. Like, these are good. Like, these are pretty good. And then like we started talking about that. So then when I found out that he was like, that he raps as well, and I was like, I have to hear it. So like, I can't just believe you. Like, I have to hear it. And I fucking heard it, and I was like, yo, this guy is for fucking real. Like, and then that's how I was like, every time I went to PA, I'd be like, yo, so Stephanie, so we going to Boris's house today or not?
You know what?
He's like, oh, I could text him and see what he's doing, and I'm like, yeah, do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. On some real shit, I didn't fuck with the person who brought me there like that yet. I knew him, and we were just like okay, but like,
I want to drink to the both of you motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'll cheers.
Really,
I have one more shot here, right?
Yeah, yo, breathe.
Cheers.
Remy.
Yeah,
Remy.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Let's go.
You, please. I never expected to hear all of that.
No, this is real shit.
This is the priceless diamonds that our lives are made of and built on.
I'm too old.
That's amazing.
And
I thank the both of y'all for that shit. That shit y'all just said.
I might even be too old to say this.
Who gives a fuck?
But I'm too old.
I'm too old.
For cap. I'm too old for that cap shit, bro.
Boy, we can cap whenever we
cap.
need to.
Oh, I don't cap, bro. There ain't no cap here, bro. You know? Look. Not for nothing.
Maybe I'm
misunderstanding
the line.
No lies. No lies. I'm too old to lie.
No, not the lies.
Cap.
The line.
No, I said lies. I said lies. I'm too old to lie.
Oh, no question. No question.
I'm too old to cap.
That's why I appreciate y'all, because that shit y'all say is like, you know,
Boris, I'm gonna make him touch down with us.
I know y'all make me shed a tear,
look,
but
when I went there, when I pulled up, I wasn't even comfortable with the motherfucker I pulled up with, because I had my own people that I always rolled with, and I wasn't with any one of them, not one. I was by myself.
And that shit was dead in the woods. Like,
in the middle of the woods. They're like, yo, we're going to this party.
Like,
my boy
I had no
raps.
idea how these people got into their own driveway. Like, this is that.
It was that shit. We can agree on that, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. It was sketchy as fuck. But I remember pulling into that driveway, and I'm like, where the fuck we at?
Yeah.
I'm out here. I'm out here in the woods.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where
Oh
the fuck we
yeah.
at? I'm like, where the fuck we at right now? And it's always sketchy pulling into somebody else's driveway. And
But
so,
Like I
I'm
thought
not-
where
that's
I
what
lived,
made
I
me
was
alright.
like,
The house
yo,
was
this
nice,
is in
but
the woods,
all-
like
all
PA. Like y'all are in the woods.
Like
Yo,
the house
woods,
was nice.
woods.
See,
Woods,
thing is,
woods.
the thing that got me happy is because we were going down this trail and I'm in 4-wheel drive and I'm going, where the fuck are we
no,
going,
that shouldn't make
Scout?
me happy.
No, that part didn't make me happy. But when we pulled up to the house, I saw a nice garage.
Still
I saw
didn't make me
a
happy.
nice house, and I'm like,
That shit
yo,
still didn't make me
I
happy.
bet you we took the back way in, Scout.
Because now,
The fuck, I
now
don't know what
I was
this
feeling
is.
like, I
Yeah.
was feeling like, because I was in that zone where I'm like, yo, I got shit out here. And I'm like, these motherfuckers trying to set me up.
You know that
These motherfuckers trying to set me up right now.
That-
But I didn't bring nothing
Nah.
but my fucking gun.
That night has mad blurs in it.
No, I remember the shit clear as day.
Like that night has many blurs in it for me, and I remember when you came through, and I remember.
Bro, you were standing there in the garage when I walked in.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so I walked in while you were rapping. Right? And I'm like, who the fuck is this lame ass motherfucker rapping right now? Because that's just me, because I'm the egotistic.
Say less. I
I'm
said
the
the same thing.
egotistic man of that area. And I'm like, who the fuck is he? And so he's like, nah, bro, just listen. You know? Hear him out.
Yeah, just take a moment. Just
And I'm like, nah, I don't even fuck with you like that yet. But at that point, I couldn't deny, and I'm hearing you, and it wasn't your beats.
Right.
They were just playing some instrumentals on whatever the fuck we had going on. I don't know where it was
Yeah, I
coming from.
remember now.
I
Yo,
don't
they
know where it
were
was coming
playing
from.
some beats, right?
You were just rapping over some
There
beats.
was like this. All right, the garage was like this, and there was
I
like
don't remember.
this table in the middle of this shit. It was kind of flossing around the table.
Right. The garage was empty.
Yeah.
I didn't go inside the house to the party inside the house.
No, we never went in the house.
I left.
We never went in the house.
I left like an hour in. After like me and you linking to the point where I'm like, wait, you live in WLE? I'm gonna come through, bro. That's right in my neck of the woods. Like, this is outside of my area.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No.
Now we're on Rome right now. You know,
Like
like
you said.
we need some more Sprite, but you get some more Chase.
Well, I could always offer.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's about to. We about to mix
The
up.
unofficial sponsor of the GodMode
We're about
podcast.
to mix up.
Corona
I'll take it.
Corona seltzer now.
Flavors you
Corona
got?
seltzer.
Yo,
No,
guys,
I haven't tried this.
we touching. I gotta work tomorrow. Y'all
Yo,
got
me
work
too.
tomorrow?
Me too.
Yeah, we all have to work
Me
tomorrow,
too.
girl.
I gotta
Yo.
work, man. I gotta like get. I'm like all
Ram.
sleepy and shit. I gotta get ready for bed.
Give me
Yo,
nine.
Ram,
Give me 9
look,
more
look,
minutes.
let me say something real quick. Let me say something.
yeah. What's up?
Listen. No matter how heated people would look at what it was before, you know, when we were talking politics, that wasn't heated for me. It was straight up, I'm talking to my people. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I don't
We
get mad
family.
at stuff like that. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
that man personally. I can give it. Like,
No, it's not about that man.
That's not.
It's not about that man. I'm talking to you
Okay.
and Boris right now because look, I'm sitting by myself to be honest, and you guys are on the same page as far as your views. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not 100% against you guys. I'm not even 50% against you guys. So whatever was said before, I just want you to know it was all facts that I was just stating because we started talking about inauguration and politics and all that shit. So real quick before we part ways, I want unity in this nation amongst everyone.
I hope that's the end goal for most people. I would hope.
That's my goal, and I hope I can spread that amongst everybody. You know what I mean? There's only if I could spread that amongst one person a lifetime, I accomplished what the fuck I'm trying to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have any type of agenda. I don't have any type of biased views, and I respect everybody's views. But we need a more united America. That's all I'm saying. And I hope that this administration takes that lead to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I say I'm hopeful because, like, you know, people will say one thing before the pressure is
Right,
applied. And then when the
right,
pressure is applied, things might change or
right.
opinions might change, thoughts might change. And this happens all the time, which is why I went into that whole thing as far as like
What?
anybody could be a politician as long as, I just think it would be better
Right.
if you had some experience, but at the same time, you really don't have to because we have morons doing it all the time. So,
Absolutely.
like, when it comes to presidents and things like that, I mean, this is,
Politicians.
again, this is just based on
Just
what in politics,
politicians.
like, this is
Yeah.
just based on what they said before today. So that's why I'm hopeful. I have no expectations. I am just hopeful.
Good. Good.
Just hopeful.
Uh, I'll be, I'll be the douchebag.
Oh shit.
Yeah, here we go. When shit and if shit goes down, let's hope you got family to call on.
Oh, and that too,
Because those are
yes.
the people.
Well,
Because the people that is important in your life is going to
no,
be the.
that's the problem, bro.
That's
If,
us
if we're
way.
if we're divided,
I'm talking
amongst
about. I'm talking
no,
about the zombie apocalypse, Pop.
no, because
You know what I'm saying? Like
no,
when shit goes
no, I'm talking
down.
about right now because if shit goes down, it's not gonna be a zombie apocalypse. It's gonna be a civil war, and I don't want that.
I don't need it.
I want people.
You know
I
what?
want people who have
I'm gonna
different.
retract my
No,
statement.
hold on.
I don't
Hold
say
up.
some wrong
I want-
shit. I don't say some
No,
wrong
that's
shit.
cool.
No,
That's
no,
cool.
I don't say
I
some
want you
wrong
to understand
shit.
this. I want you to understand
I don't
this.
say some wrong shit.
When
I'm
people
gonna take that back, camera.
when people have different political
take it
views,
back. See?
when people have different political views, I want them to understand this: we could all still stand together as a human race and as Americans.
I'm gonna drink to that.
You understand me?
Come on, Jay. Bring that shit in.
That's all I'm saying.
Bring that shit
Fuck
in.
Donald Trump.
Grammy, where's your water, girl?
Fuck Joe Biden.
Where's your
Fuck
water?
these politicians. I'm saying
Grammy
we
said
are
right
the
here,
American
I'm a toaster
people.
right there.
We are the American people, and don't let anybody divide us.
Yes.
Not
Oh,
the
yes.
mainstream media.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not the corrupt
Yes.
politicians
Yes.
who have the exact
Preach.
agendas that you explained to me. That's what we started arguing about.
Yep.
That's the one point we started arguing about. That I said that they should uphold the Constitution, and you said that they have a political figure to uphold.
Yeah.
Fuck all that.
Yeah.
We are the people
Yes.
underneath them who voted them in that they don't give a fuck about.
We're not underneath them.
Yes, we are.
We elected them.
But we
are above them.
I hope that becomes.
We put them.
I hope
in
that becomes.
power.
I hope that
If
becomes.
we have the power to put
Look,
them in
no,
power,
I hope that becomes the
they
view.
should exercise the right of us.
Oh shit! That's what I'm saying. I hope that becomes the popular view.
Don't you see?
I hope that becomes the popular view over the popular vote.
Oof. Woof.
Nicely put.
Woof.
Nicely put.
Come talk to me, bro.
Woof.
Come talk to me,
I'm
bro.
gonna
Nicely
drink to
put.
that. I'm gonna drink to that.
I love everybody here.
Drink.
I love everybody around the fucking world, yo. I love differences. I love to be able to talk differences and be able to come out in an understanding.
I mean, it would be boring if everybody saw everything the same way.
It'd
Right.
be deadly boring.
Right. So I love y'all.
And then I
love
and then
y'all
I heard
for
that
real.
there was like another thing about unity. I'm so sorry. You're about to say something very
Do it,
beautiful.
Do it.
Go,
Do it.
go,
Do
go,
it.
Remy, go.
Do it.
No, another thing about unity is that people unify because they all need something to hate. So when there's forced division, it creates conversation, it creates debate, it creates all this turmoil and shit. But it would be nice if people kind of had a common ground that everyone could stand on. Have your differences, have your beliefs, but it would be nice for a common ground.
Not to like go into it deep, but that was the point I was trying to make. Not that I felt that way, right? Not that I was compelled by it, but I think the common people who were sick and tired of the political games were intrigued by Donald Trump's non-PC appeal.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that's why they
indulged it.
No. That's why they took a risk and gambled on him. Because what else do they have to lose?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't white supremacy because white supremacy will continue.
They just went along for the ride. Them motherfuckers just went along for the ride.
White supremacy will continue to vote Republican.
Oh, always, yeah.
No
For the most, yeah,
what.
I think so.
But that's not what the majority of Trump voters stood for. They weren't Republicans. They were hopeful that it would be a change and a shakedown of the political system that we are captive of. I'm telling you from an unbiased view that I learned from people who were not political.
Oh, no, you have a point there. No, you have a point.
You understand me? And it's hard to believe that because it's only left
it's
or
not really
right.
hard to believe that once you
it's only left or right amongst the people who want to cause division. Understand me?
Yeah.
That's when it's a fucking divided country.
My dear friends, I'd like to raise a toast to this great fucking nation.
Beautiful.
This nation that I love wholeheartedly. This nation.
It's not perfect.
This nation
that
gave me.
It's far from perfect.
This nation that gave me a voice.
But y'all listen.
That let me have my heart on a sleeve. You know what I'm saying?
It is the greatest nation in this world. I don't give a fuck what nobody says.
I wanna drink to this country. This country, the United motherfucking States of America. And I come from ground zero of that country, which is not only New York, but Brooklyn.
We literally come from ground zero.
You understand? So having said that, I come from the diversity, the melting pot that people is talking about, and I've lived here my whole life, and I love it, I respect it, and I wish it nothing but health and prosperity. Wow. So to this great country, my dear friends, that we know.
Cheers to our differences.
Love. No.
Cheers to our diversity.
Cheers to this country.
And cheers to
country.
our.
Cause my down
cheers,
set people,
cheers
I
to
love
our
y'all
right.
too. My Republican people, I love y'all too. My Democrat people, I love y'all too.
But that needs to all stop.
Brooklyn,
that needs
Queens,
to all stop.
New York, fucking Staten, motherfucking. I love all of y'all. Y'all American. I love all of y'all. Californians, Texans. I love all of y'all. Y'all dig? And when I get some bread, wait till I get my money right.
Wait till we get that Biden bucks.
I'm gonna get listen. I'm gonna come see y'all. I'm gonna come see y'all. I want to experience y'all. You dig?
And on that note,
Here we go.
DJ Novi is calling it a night. I am about to fall asleep.
Have a
good night. It was so good.
Peace.
So good to talk with you.
Thank you
this
so
was
much
fun.
for hanging out.
Let's do it again, all right?
I don't think
yes,
I
thank
don't
you,
think
y'all.
you were completely ready for what was gonna happen in there.
I wasn't, but it was fun.
Either.
I didn't know he was gonna be out here for 3.5 whole ass hours and shit. But it's all good.
You should know by now that like I don't run these so they stop. I don't have a.
All right, let's wrap that shit up then.
I don't have a separate. You know what? I'm gonna wrap this whole shit on saying that.
Yeah.
My dear friends.
Here's to America.
Here's to America. We love you as a country.
To America.
Yo, real quick. Pie y'all. Where's your water, Remy?
Peace. Cheers. Cheers.
Wait, don't peace with me yet. Don't peace with me yet. Listen, y'all. Thank y'all so much for hanging out tonight. And as motherfucking always, fucking peace, bitches.